Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. Hope you're having a wonderful day out there. How you guys doing? Yeah, it's a day. Happy Friday. And before anybody in chat says it's not Friday, it is the Friday show. I always have to correct that because there's always one. There's always one of you sons of bitches. Thank you guys for coming. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing pretty good. A little sore, but happy. And I will take happy every damn day. I cannot believe Nuts has never heard the song Redneck Girl by the Bellamy Brothers. Oh my goodness. That actually hurts my soul a little bit. That hurts my soul a little bit. Wow, girl, you got to get out there. I put the link in the chat. Make sure you check it out. Speaking of links in chat, we need to discuss something real fast. Sinatra Says, friend of the show, been a friends a long time. He has closed down his Sinatra Says channel. He's ending it. He's not doing it anymore. He's tired of the bullshit he's had to put up with YouTube with it. So he's ending that channel. He's not going away for good though, guys. There are other places that you can find him. And I'm going to throw his link from Twitter into chat right now. This is the this is his Twitter link where you can find the links to all the places you can find him still. So check that out if you're a fan of Sin. If you're not a fan of Sin, go check those out and become one. So I wish him all the best with where he's moving to. I'm already following him, so go do it too. Go check him out, man. And if you don't have Twitter, go to the Sinatra Says channel. See his latest video. And why are you wanting to bop him? Oh, yeah. No, you can't bop him for that, but I understand why. But anyway, go to the Sinatra Says YouTube channel. He hasn't closed it down yet. You can go there, go to his latest video, and all the links are there. So go check that out. Yeah, actually, I had to help him earlier because I was there and trying to get to his one channel. He has a channel called The Speakeasy. And I couldn't get to it. I got a 404 error. So he fixed the links. So I do know the links over there work. He should change it to Sinatra Said. No, he's got a couple of channels. So check him out. Check him out. He will still be doing the AAA and everything. And yes, he is fully shown his face and everything on the Speakeasy. You get to see him make drinks and stuff. So he is out there for anybody who's wondering what Sinatra looked like. I'd seen him before, so I already knew, but this is Kyle. Thank you so much. Hello, chat people, monkey and chat. Wait, hello, chat people, monkey and chat. Yeah, that's what you said. My alert box did not go off for that. Are we doing this again tonight? Are we really? Son of a bitch. You know what? I have enough problems with me not working correctly. Having my equipment and my programs not working, it just doesn't help. I was not expecting him to look like that. Holy shit. Oh my God. The alert just went off. And I had my headphones on music level. Oh dear Christ. Over on the Streamlab, give me a second. It's loading up. On the Streamlabs. Thank you so much, Dark Resurrect. Oh, I'm gonna be nice on the Dark Resurrect. Thanks so much. Coming through that feminist $12. Update on my granddad. He is off the ventilator, off sedation. He has full motion of all four of his limbs. He can talk and he can even hold a conversation. A real miracle. Dude, I am so freaking happy to hear that. I am seriously, man. We don't get a lot of good news around here because we cover news topics. So most of it's garbage. And to hear something like that, man, it's like with Moonshock earlier this year, hearing that he beat cancer. I love you guys for giving me good news. I'm so happy for you, for your family, and for your granddad, man. Seriously, that is so cool. So cool. Enjoy every moment with him, man. Every moment you got. Damn, that is so good to hear. You should see the smile on my face right now. I can't stop grinning. That's fucking cool, man. Dark, I am so fucking happy for you guys. And YouTube, if you don't like me saying fuck that much, you can kiss my ass. This is good fucking news. Wow, that's awesome. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I was worried with the updates you'd given us. So hearing that he's doing so well is amazing. That's great, man. And hopefully they find out what caused it and keep it from happening again in the future. So that's awesome. That's really, really cool. And thank you for the donation. You know what? And I'm going to be serious here. The donation is the least of my worries of everything you said there. I want to hug you right now. I really do. I want to just give you a big old hug and congratulate your family for. And I realize it's just the doctors and luck and prayers or whatever you believe happened there, but usually that stuff doesn't work out that way. And so I can't stop grinning. Seriously, great news, man. Great news. I know how to stop me from grinning. Let's talk about an asshole. Okay. Dan Crenshaw. We watched videos of this idiot yesterday. We watched him call people who weren't on board with Kevin McCarthy enemies, children, Democrat enablers, terrorists, narcissists, and media whores. We heard all of that from that little shitbag. All of that little, and some people called him out on it besides us. We watched Tucker Carlson call him out on it. And old Dan had something to say about that. Old Dan had something to say about Tucker Carlson calling him out for being the little bitch that he is. This is what he said. Unclutch your pearls. It's a figure of speech. You can't insult, slander, and hold everyone hostage with no way out and not expect me to punch back. Grow thicker skin. Yep, that's his take. Jack, welcome to the show, my friend. How you doing tonight?
Not bad. How you doing?
I'm good, dude. We'll get back to this in a minute. Dark just gave us an update. His granddad is doing really well.
Oh, good.
He's responsive. He's got movement in all of his limbs, and he's able to even hold conversations.
Oh, dude, I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, me too. Because we don't get enough of those kind of news updates.
Yeah, it's usually bad shit.
So once again, I'm so happy for you and your family, dude. That's so cool. But we've moved on to dickhead Crenshaw. I mean, Dan Crenshaw.
Dude, that guy's such an asshole.
Tucker calls him out for calling people terrorists, and Dan is like, I'm just punching back. Okay, I got to be honest. I didn't hear anybody insult or slander Dan Crenshaw before any of this shit was said.
No, he was just being a complete douchebag.
And the slander, the slander and insults about Kevin McCarthy, can you show me something that was said about him that wasn't true? Because it's not slander if it's true.
Yeah.
It's not an insult if it's true. He is a rhino.
McCain.
He really is. He is a fucking rhino. So it wasn't even insults or anything. And holding him hostage and not expect me to punch back. You didn't punch back. What you did was be a hyperbolic douchebag. It can be an insult and true. It can be, but I don't think they were being insulting, really. The stuff that's been said about him, I don't think is meant as an insult. It's just true about the guy. Who's held hostage? Well, tall person. According to Mr. Crenshaw, it's the 20 the 20 Republicans are holding the Republicans hostage. It's just hostage taken. It's not. But Dan's a retard. However, this wasn't the only time. Notice, unclutch your pearls. Hold on to that because Dan likes that phrase. Holy moly, Dan Crenshaw just absolutely unloaded on my radio show. This has gotten very acrimonious and personal. Full audio to come. This is from when he actually called him the terrorists, because the other one was the enemies on CNN. He called them enemies.
Enemies of the people.
So this is literally where Dan calls these people terrorists. And Dan says, lots of pearl clutching coming from people who started a fight but don't like getting punched back.
He started the fight. What's he talking about?
Oh, I don't know if you know this, Dan Crenshaw. He's a twat.
Yeah, but he acts like such a oh, I was just being a macho tough guy action hero. No, you're just some asshole that throws punches and then runs and hides behind his military record.
Thank you, Donald Camp, coming through that feminist $12. Hey, Monkey, I just wanted you to know I got my wife one of Jack's awesome backpacks. I want you to
Yay.
say awesome backpack. Awesome backpack.
Thank you, Donald.
And yeah, guys, don't forget there are the Teespring stores. They are linked below. Check them out at your leisure.
The backpack says, I love backpacks.
Backpack. Dan Crenshaw's kind of a douche.
Kind of.
So yesterday, Jack, let's see. I want to recount. We had childish. We had Democrat enabling. We had narcissistic. He didn't actually say it, but he was insinuating that they were media whores, enemies, and terrorists. Did I get all the words that he was throwing around?
Probably not, but he's a dickbag, so we can't keep track of all of them.
Yeah, we got most of them. Cult of Krill, thank you. Guy Benson, the show that Crenshaw appeared on, is a chud. Well, he can't be anymore.
Kind of a rhino.
The year of the chud is over. Tall person, thank you over on the Rumble. As it is Thursday, where I can watch this, happy National Whipped Cream Day. Half to Jack. Thank you so much, tall person. I appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
Well, Jack, Danny Boy, who's out there saying everybody else is just trying to get on TV, would it surprise you to know he was on TV again?
Oh, no, not at all, because he's kind of a media whore.
No, that's just what the other people want to do.
Well, I mean, obviously.
Now, hopefully my internet is working because we're going to watch it.
Oh, no.
I'm kind of fascinated by this right now. We don't typically do a lot of video response kind of stuff because it tends to make the show go 3 hours long at least. But I can't help myself right now. I'm enjoying it.
This has been such a shit show. The Republicans are such fucking tards.
Yeah, I need to make sure I shared audio. I think I did, but I often think I do when I didn't. There we go. I got to fire this producer. He sucks. Danny Crenshaw went on to Neil Cavuto's show.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
He's going on all the... Okay.
Yeah. He's all over the place, because those other people are media whores.
Yeah, but he's going to all these channels that are shows that really support rhino type positions.
But don't worry. I'm bringing this up for a different reason. All right, let's see. Check volume first.
Dan Crenshaw has had enough of.
Yeah, it's fine. It's a little quiet, but it's fine.
I think it's as loud as we can make it. Yeah, it is. So, I don't know who this pissed off looking guy is. He's going to go away and he's going to be replaced by Dan Crenshaw. Just a trigger warning for people, because just seeing Dan Crenshaw these days might make you want to punch your monitor.
Right.
So be careful. Don't punch anything when dickbag shows up on the screen. All right.
Dan Crenshaw has had enough of this. The Texas, Republican congressman-elect.
Neil had a Biden moment there.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, he suddenly thought he was talking to Fat Solid Snake.
Can I point out?
Am I wrong?
I think you're not wrong. Fuck. I need a moment. No, you're not wrong at all. Oh, man. Can I just point out real quick that they keep calling these guys congressman-elect? I have never heard this before in my life. Maybe when it's a brand new person who hasn't been in Congress for a while. And it might be technically correct right now, but they're just driving that home, and we'll get to it a little bit later. It's really getting on my last fucking nerve. Congressman-elect. Just call him congressman. Even even if he is congressman-elect, he was elected and served as a congressman, so it is okay to call him that. I fucking hate these retards. This is part of the stuff. This is the kind of stuff I tell you guys to pay attention to. Never before do you see this. You only see it with brand new Congress people. Never when it's like, you're the congressperson-elect because they haven't actually sworn you in just yet. It's annoying to me, Jack. But all right. Look at him sitting there looking all pissy.
Thank you, Cult of Krill, who says, this is for the fat solid snake comment. No, thank you.
That was funny as shit.
I thought so.
All right, here we go.
Had been wanting to see out of his 20 colleagues who are hell set.
I don't think you're allowed to say something like he wants to see when you're talking to Crenshaw.
Yeah, that's kind of rude.
That's a little bit rude.
He's not allowed to see in 3D. Apparently I was wrong, and I'm thinking of Big Boss. I played the game like once, dude.
Big Boss.
I don't fucking know. I don't know anything about video games. I played Metal Gear Solid like once, and I played Metal Gear before that like twice because we rented it. So I have a vague understanding of who people are. I'm just making jokes. They don't have to make sense.
He kind of looks like Snake, so you were on. It was fine.
Know.
All right, here we go.
Against Kevin McCarthy, just what they wanted. He put it far more colorfully than I just did. He's kind enough to join us now.
He put it far more colorfully than I did. He called them terrorists, Neil.
Yeah. He called them literal enemies of the people by calling them terrorists. He also called them enemies, but
enemies and terrorists, yes.
Yes, but terrorists are, he was basically brandishing them traitors because these are Congress people.
Absolutely was, yeah.
Fucking sorry.
No, you're fine. You're absolutely right.
Congressman-elect, good to see you.
Hey, good to see you too. Thanks for having me.
Are you running out of patience with your colleagues?
Oh, we ran out of patience a long time ago, but
before it ever started. Literally before it ever started.
Yeah. Well, remember, they have been asking for some of these concessions for months.
Mm-hmm.
And ran out of patience for capitulating to these people that want reform.
I don't remember if it's brought up in this thing, but we should stop here and let you guys know that McCarthy did go ahead and agree to the one person being able to call for a vote of no confidence on the speaker. Where it was the 5, remember that from yesterday? We talked about it, and they were asking for 1. He did finally give in on that. So there's one thing he gave in on, Jack.
What they fucking do. What they're asking for isn't that much. It's some decent reforms that probably need to happen anyway. The one person thing for vote of no confidence, that was a rule before Nancy Pelosi changed it a few years ago.
Yeah, she changed it.
New.
She changed it in 2019. Oh, thank you. This is Kyle. Big Boss also looks like Solid Snake because that's Snake's dad. This has been a nerd moment brought to you by Kyle. Thank you, Kyle. Damn it,
thank you, Kyle. Yeah, I know there's a clone and there's like somebody's dad and I don't fucking know.
It worked. It was fine.
I thought it was funny.
It was funny.
Don't
you apologize to these
people.
History
jokes. Nobody ever fucking questions those anymore.
Look, it has been established that as long as we're close on our pop culture references, it counts.
Yeah.
They obviously knew what you meant.
That's where I'm with it. So
McCarthy was walking through the House today and somebody stopped it. Well, a gaggle of reporters who were around him, and somebody asked him about the whole aren't you giving up too much power? And he's like, it was literally the rule for hundreds of years till Nancy changed it. So no.
Yeah.
Which begs the question, why was he so reluctant?
Because he doesn't want to do anything. This is a coronation. It's his turn, monkey. His turn.
All right. But back to this. I just wanted to point out that he did finally give in on that apparently late last night. I don't know what late means, but that's what all of the news reports said. They're old, so that's probably 6:30. Just saying.
That's fair.
Right after their early bird supper. Not dinner because they're old, so it's supper. Anyway, here we go.
What it is. This is democracy. It's messy. People disagree. But what I think voters and Americans want to see from their politicians when they disagree is disagreement in good faith. You should stand for something, right? If you're going to hold the line, you should stand for something. You should say, this is why I'm holding the line.
Do you notice a more conciliatory tone?
Yes. And he knows why they're standing, because they have specific demands. At least 10 of them do. Apparently there may be a couple people that are just like, fuck this guy completely. So
you're getting ahead of us just a little bit.
Real quick, thank you, Cult of Krill, who says, if you guys in chat are gonna be actually jokes, at least pay to do it. That's a fair point, actually.
Actually, that's a fair point.
Yeah, thank you, Cult of Krill. Appreciate that. Yeah, you can correct me on jokes for money. I got no issue with that. Because I know I'm wrong most of the time, and half the time I'm barely awake when I'm here. So
you were right anyway.
I was right enough because I don't.
Right enough. Yeah, keep that in mind for later.
Like when I mispronounce words, I don't really give a fuck. I just don't. I'm sorry. What am I trying to conjure something here? Sounds like a lot of work.
It's not like you're trying to conjure a good god, and if you use the wrong word, you pull up a demon.
Yeah, well, that'd be about my luck, but
true, but
that's
it's not
why
what
I'm
we're
not
doing,
a wizard.
So. There's a much more conciliatory tone from One-Eyed Bandit here.
Yeah.
And it's just funny because we just read those two things. All your pearl clutching. Somebody obviously went to this guy and went, dude, tone it down.
I think he got so much backlash, and I bet a bunch of people called his fucking office and were like, what the actual hell?
Well, if you go and look at the comments from the two tweets that we looked at, sorry about that. I moved the one armrest on my thing here. If you look at the comments, I didn't see anybody, not a single fucking person who was on his side.
No, and everybody was calling him a rhino and a douche.
Yeah.
He was acting like such a cocksmoker over this. And there are a lot more people supporting these 20 Republicans than there are vocally supporting the rhinos. I mean, you've got the big talking heads media people supporting McCarthy and that, and they're like, look, we got to unify the party, blah, blah, blah. But it's not a lot of the actual voters. And I think they're starting to figure that out.
And, well, there's a lot of stuff to get into. This is a long interview. It's 14 minutes. I don't know if we're going to watch the whole thing, but a lot of this will come back up. Excuse me. So sorry about that.
But you know as well as I do that when you ask these 20 holdouts, what are you holding the line for? They give you very vague statements. They say, well,
vague statements like, we want to vote on this. We want this specific thing to.
Lauren Boebert was on Hannity last night and gave 4 specific things.
Yeah. The same 4, I think there's actually 5 things that some of them want. But there's 4 things they all seem to agree on.
The one for the vote of confidence, which they've gotten. The Texas border plan.
Mm-hmm.
What are the other 2? Balanced budget. And I forgot the last one. But yeah, she named him outright. What was vague about that part, Dan? See, this is why I don't like this guy. It's not even that he called him terrorist because he's a hyperbolic piece of shit. It's because he's a fucking liar.
Yeah.
He's a fucking liar.
He's either a total liar or completely misinformed. Like he may honestly have no idea what the fuck they actually want because he doesn't care. He just wants to get on TV.
I'm sorry, I cannot believe that. You are being way too charitable to this piece of term limits. Thank you, Atheist Icon. That is the other one. You are being way too charitable to this piece of shit.
Oh, I know. He's a cock smoking piece of shit. But
I know you're allowing for the possibility, but in this case, I will not give him that charity because this motherfucker knows, and he's just being a lying piece of shit to try to make them look good or look bad. Thank you, Dan Crenshaw. Can McCarthy please come jizz in my other eye so I can lose it the same way I lost the first? Wow. Wow.
He didn't do it. He just made it a cum catcher.
Critical Orc Theory, thank you. If the rest of you 20 Dark Lords elect won't vote for McCarthy as Mouth of Sauron, then you are pearl-clutching hobbits. Sir Byron of Donald is a fellowship prop. Thank you very much.
Wow. The guys are on fire today. Speaking of which, thank you, understatement. Let's just get Crenshaw and Rome Girl, blessed be her name, on Hannity and make them talk about nuggies and the fallacy for 30 minutes. Monk could use a massive migraine right about now. He's going to need all 6 of his N-word passes if that happens.
Sure thing.
Yeah, you might need to do some deficit spending on passes at that point.
Look, every so often something happens in my life where I do drop the N please. I tried very hard not to do it online. This motherfucker almost made me do it last night.
I know, right? I could not believe he called them terrorists. That was so... It wasn't that he was being flippant. I think he thought that was a smart thing to do, but it was such a stupid thing to do. Because he's not smart, guys. He's really not.
And again, I know, you know, the terrorists and the enemy thing, that's really fucking horrible. The whole, they're just media whores, narcissists, that all real stupid shit. But I actually find this interview more insidious than all of that. Because at least there, he's just being an insulting prick. Here he is actively lying about them.
Yeah.
And let's get back to the one-eyed lying bandit here.
You know, it's to make this place work better. We're tired of the swamp. We're tired of the status quo. It's like they're on the campaign trail just screaming slogans that their consultants told them to say.
Oh, you mean like they don't actually mean it, like you, because you're part of that swamp, because you keep saying that you're fighting to drain the swamp, and yet you keep capitulating to all the same bullshit? Maybe some people actually believe it, Dan. Huh? Is that a possibility? Maybe some people actually want to get rid of some of the corruption to get shit done.
Well, the thing is, even with what he just said here, they have said those things. It's not like they haven't, you know, said we need to drain the swamp, stop the business as usual. But they follow it up with the things that they believe will do that, like term limits. Thank you, Cass One. So that trans inmate that got the injection, Reddit had a great take, dead name twice. I made that joke the other day. Just want that pointed out.
True.
Buddha, thank you so much. Good evening, Monkey. Good evening to you. I hope you're well.
How's it going, Buddha?
Meanwhile, they're fundraising off of this. Everybody's getting fundraising emails from these people. And let me say this to the American public right now. Do not donate to these fundraising campaigns. They don't need the money for this. Okay, there's no reason that their campaign needs money.
They run again in 2 years. They the one thing we all know about Congress is they fundraise constantly.
Yeah.
So
well,
this is one of the don't donate to them. He just said do not donate to Republicans.
Yes. Well, the wrong kind of Republican. Look, he would rather have I have no doubt that this is true, that he would rather have a Democrat in office than one of these kind of Republicans.
Yep.
Because he doesn't like the so-called MAGA Republicans. He wants people that'll go along to get along. He wants more fucking rhinos.
Metal Minister, thank you. Tired of the status quo? Motherfucker is status quo. True story.
Yeah, I don't like Crenshaw. Haven't liked him in a long time. When he first came out on the scene, I was like, all right, this guy seems okay. But the more he talks, the more he looks like a fucking disingenuous piece of garbage.
Corey, thank you so much. For fuck's sake, this guy's on TV again. What did he say about media hogs? I know. He's afraid they're going to take up some of his time.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's his time. He's earned it. He's owed, you know.
What kind of twat comes out and says, don't donate to our side?
I don't know. I don't get it. Like, at least the Republicans that are, pushing against McCarthy, they'll still vote with your party. They still have your interests in mind for the large part, unless you're actually not a real Republican or you're not in any way conservative and you're just some disingenuous douchebag.
This is something we didn't get to talk about last night, but Devil's Advocate says they need to start fundraising now because ain't going to be no RNC money helping them in 2 years. Hell, that will go to their opponents. One of the things happening in the background is that there are certain leadership PACs and stuff who are coming out and going, "Oh, we won't spend money against you," and you wonder why they're against McCarthy, huh? That was even on the fucking table. Anyway, real quick. Go ahead.
Thank you, Dan's missing tear duct. Sorry. Inside word is that McCarthy refuses to bring back Taco Tuesdays. You can't cave on on that. I guess that does seem like something this dude would bitch about too.
Look, if they don't have Taco Tuesdays, I wouldn't vote for them either.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Be like, fuck you. Everybody loves tacos. But Dan's he's just such a garbage person. He's smarmy. He looks like he's gonna sell you a used car and then make you listen to his like personal anecdote about how he lost that eye for like 2 hours.
Unacceptable views says chat is fire. Our chat is always funny as shit.
Yeah, they're exceptional tonight though.
We could probably just do whole shows reading these guys be funny.
Oh yeah. You got another thing on Rumble.
Oh shit. Sorry, let me get over there. Thank you, tall person. Off topic, but was curious if either of you heard about Kotaku getting clowned on at MagFest. I saw.
No, I haven't heard that.
There was they set up a one of those little things to tell you which way to go to find stuff. And what was it? Kotaku fact checking or something like that, and it just had a 404 error instead of a arrow pointing.
Oh,
yeah.
That's kind of funny, actually.
It's really funny.
Hey, thank you, Kevin McCarthy.
Oh, God.
What sounds like a wine cork popping? My cock being pulled out after splooging in Crenshaw's socket.
Wow.
Frank Lutz is going to get jealous.
All right.
And it's actually just really immoral for them to be doing that. If you ask them they want, they can't articulate it.
Stop. It's immoral for them to be fundraising off this. It's immoral. They're gonna go to hell for it, Jack. It's a sin.
Oh God. Well, you can't let the terrorists win, I guess.
It's immoral. You fucking piece of shit. We're only 1 minute and 27 seconds into this. This is going to take all day.
Yeah.
A lot of what they've wanted, some of which has been in very good faith and has been negotiated and talked about and agreed upon. If you go up to a lot of them right now, they can't tell you. Some of them can't.
Wait. Hang on. We got to go back. Listen closely.
Some of which has been in very good.
Oh, whoops. Right about there.
Actually, it's really immoral for them to be doing that.
Listen.
If you ask them what they want, they can't articulate it. A lot of what they've wanted, some of which has been in very good faith and has been negotiated and talked about and agreed upon.
They can't tell you what they want. But some of what they want has been agreed upon, Jack.
That makes no sense. How could you agree to something that they can't articulate?
They can't even tell you what it is they want, but we've given it to them. Or at least some of it. Hey, Dan, just throwing this out there. Maybe it's the rest of it that's keeping them from getting on board.
Yeah. Maybe if you'd offered more conciliatory positions, like just one or two more, like maybe half of what they wanted, then they would have played ball. Instead, they're going to entrench further because now you're just constantly shitting on them, and they know it. And they know you're a proxy for McCarthy.
Yep.
Spud said someone standing on principles immoral. Holy snot balls. Yeah,
Yep.
right?
But that's what One Eye here tells us.
Yeah. Oh, hey, thank you, Evolved Potato. Am I the only one that wants Trump to be Speaker of the House just so the next State of the Union, if Biden ever even does one, he could just sit there looking smug? That would be funny. Plus, as soon as it's over, he'd get up and be like, "Thank you, you're wrong."
I forget which round it was. I think it was 10. Somebody actually nominated Trump and he got a couple of votes.
Yeah, that was Gates put him up.
Was Gates the one who nominated him?
Yeah, they're just picking
Well,
random people at this point because it's funny.
Boebert said last night talking to Handy, well, maybe we'll do Trump. So anyway, we gave concessions that they couldn't even articulate. So apparently Dan here was using the Jedi mind trick to figure out what they wanted.
Well, his other eyeball, much like Nick Fury in the David Hasselhoff version, is a laser, and he just pulls his eye patch up, and a laser beam shoots out. And in this case, it's a mind-reading laser.
No. See, he lost this one, and this one became the all-seeing eye.
Yeah, that's a possibility, I guess.
Yeah.
He's got a third eye we don't know about.
He doesn't have a second one, but he's got that third one.
Yeah.
What is that?
Man, we're bad people.
Hell Radio Lives. Thank you so much. Weasel Dan Crenshaw. What's that?
Hell Radio lives, I would think.
Well, whichever way. Hell Radio. How about that?
Fair enough.
All right. Weasel Dan Crenshaw. Shame the patch. He is no Snake Plissken. Sorry. That's from Escape from New York in LA, right?
Yeah.
Never seen him, but heard good things.
Escape from New York's a classic. I can't believe you've never seen that.
One day, maybe. Let's get back to Darth Sidious here.
If you go up to a lot of them right now, they can't tell you. Some of them can.
They can't tell you. Some of them can. Which is it?
Yeah, he's trying to insult them without directly being as much of a douche as he obviously wants to be.
Yeah, this is why I say somebody obviously got up in his ass about the way he was acting yesterday.
Yeah. And I don't think he listens to the voters. I really don't, because he hasn't before and he won't again. So maybe he did see some pushback, but I doubt he's worried about anything, honestly. He's more upset that, most likely that some higher up jumped his shit.
Yeah, my guess would be McCarthy himself came out and was like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, this is not helpful.
You're just turning people against us, you dumb son of a bitch.
Yeah, and it should turn them against because it was such an obvious douchey thing to do. And McCarthy's an asshole, so it wouldn't surprise me if he put the seed in Patches Malone here. And I don't fucking know. But look, these clowns, I don't like McCarthy. I think he's a complete douchebag who looks like a puppet melting. But the fact that this asshole called them terrorists really got under my skin.
Travis Gardner, thank you. Crenshaw's involved with the WEF. Is he? I know McCarthy is. I didn't know Crenshaw was, because there's pictures of McCarthy up there sitting at the WEF, the World Economic Forum. He's up on a dais with some people. He saw a lot of pushback on Twitter today. I know, it was funny as shit. I was enjoying it. All right, let's get back to Dickhead we're not even 2 minutes in. God damn it. Frank, stop pausing.
Some of them are indeed working in good faith. But a lot.
Yesterday, you called them all terrorists.
Yeah. Now you're saying terrorists can act in good faith? By the way, here's a few things that McCarthy voted for.
Oh, please.
Same-sex marriage. The vax mandate for the military. $100 billion for Ukraine. The ability for the United States Post Office to use Medicare funds. Drafting women in the military. The J6 committee, because he was a big supporter of Liz Cheney, too.
Yep.
Amnesty for DACA. And more.
Good faith terrorists. This is 2023 after all. Yeah, I guess so. All right. Dan, you fucking asshole.
A lot of them are not. And I think it's just for attention, and it's really disheartening. It doesn't mean progress is not getting made. these votes will continue. It'll adjourn. It'll go back to some talks. Obviously, you've seen some concessions come just last night.
Can they not get a closet somewhere in the Capitol building for these guys to have their little interviews?
Oh, they all want to do it in the rotunda. It looks like they're busy and working. It's really just the sound of all the reporters talking to like the same 5 people every day.
And that's good. That's progress in the right direction. But what's increasingly frustrating is some people have said, some of the holdouts have said, well, this is the one thing we want. And then they get it. And then they're like the dog that caught the bone. They don't know what to do. Well, I'm still against them. Why? Well,
I have not heard a single one of them say this is the one thing we want. The least I've heard is 4. These are the 4 things we want. Marjorie Taylor Greene, thank you so much. Just remember, throughout this, the only cave larger than my cock wallet was how much I caved for McCarthy. Wow. I don't know. I don't know anything about Marjorie Taylor Greene's cock wallet.
Me either, but it's probably kind of old.
I'm guessing it looks like roast beef that was left out over Christmas break.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's about trust. Some vague idea of trust. And I said, you know what? If you came up here and thought that the currency of politics was trust, you're crazy. So
Did you hear what he just said?
Yes.
Dan just said, don't trust me.
Well, I mean, I don't.
I don't either, but I mean, I guess if you're trying to get these people to be like, okay, we're going to give you this, this, and this, maybe the thing you shouldn't say is, hey, don't trust us. If you thought the currency up here was trust, you were wrong. Sure, it's probably naive to be that way, but here's the thing, Dan. They should be able to trust you. That's the issue.
Yeah.
That's the issue, you stupid prick. Literally just comes out and says it. We're gonna lie to you. Well, yeah, that's what this is all about, dickhead. That's why they want these promises in writing. Not that it matters if they are or not.
No, and they don't trust McCarthy, and I don't blame them.
For good reason they don't trust him, because he's a fucking lying piece of shit rhino.
Yeah.
There's a reason that they didn't go with him back in 2015. Scarfy, thank you so much. Fantasy, Crenshaw lost his eye battling an arch nemesis over a volcano. Likely reality, he lost it because a crime boss punished him for incompetence. I don't know exactly how he lost it. I've never heard the story.
I think he was in a vehicle convoy that got hit with an IED.
Oh, okay. Taylor Lorenz, thank you. I'm a huge piece of crap, but at least I'm not Dan Crenshaw.
Ooh.
Wow.
That's a tough one.
All right.
So they don't trust that the rules will be abided by. And I'm like, you don't even know how this place works. You can vote on the rules every single time. If people want to change the rules for, a given bill, you can vote against it. You don't have to rely on trust.
But if it's only one person voting against it, it means nothing.
Yeah, that's stupid. That makes no sense.
And what they're talking about, like take the Texas bill that they're asking for it to be brought to the floor. Hopefully the Republicans will go along with it. They're not even asking you guys to vote with them on this. They're asking you to bring that to a vote. So again, he's being a disingenuous piece of shit.
Yep.
God, he's a liar, and this is what annoys me about him. Being a hyperbolic cocksucker, I mean, I really am not shocked, Jack.
No, but it's the fact that he would stab his own party in the back to that level, to call them terrorists, to actually create the ads against his own party members for the DNC. Fucking stupid.
Has Dan Crenshaw ever called the Democrats terrorists?
I doubt it.
I'm wondering. I'm really curious. Because it would be, just in fairness, it would be different if this was something that, he just threw that word around a lot. It'd be stupid because it's not fitting to most situations, but at least then it would make sense. But I don't remember hearing this guy ever call Democrats terrorists.
No, that is a very big escalation of hyperbole.
Yep.
For anyone in office. Hey, real quick. Thank you, Alan, who says, hello, Jack. Hi, Alan. Hope you're doing well, man. Thank you.
We have actually come together already and built a very good system that changes the way this place works, the way they claim they want to see it. But it's not enough.
Thank you, Alan. I appreciate the donation. If it was the way they wanted to see it, this wouldn't be going on.
Yeah.
He's such a liar. He's such a little liar.
And so we're found wondering, what is it you actually want? What is the end game? There's one more thing.
Well, at this point, it's never McCarthy, shithead.
Yeah, about half of them are just so entrenched they're never McCarthy.
Yep.
The other half are willing to look for some sort of compromise. And that's what a lot of them have said from the beginning. We just want certain things. Chip Roy said that he would vote for McCarthy. He said this on TV, that he would vote for McCarthy if there were certain conditions met. That's what several of them have said. But now they're pissing on these people so much. Some of them, like Gates, I don't think would ever vote for McCarthy.
Roy specifically was mentioned today that he's working with the speaker, the wannabe speaker, the leader of the GOP. Because Kevin McCarthy is the leader, but there's a difference between the leader and the speaker. Yeah. Typically, they're the same person, but not necessarily.
Yeah.
Anyway, that he is still working with them and is open to voting for McCarthy with conditions. People like Boebert and Donalds and Gates, they're pretty much never McCarthy right now.
Yeah, well, I don't blame them. They've been shit on by media personalities, by their fellow Republicans in the House. Why would they be? Now they have a reason to be bitter about it.
Yep. Mike the Daddy Crosby, thank you so much. Mike the Dad Crosby. I said Daddy.
Yes, you did.
I added a DY in there. Sorry about that, Mike. So disappointed. I have a Crenshaw book. Anyone want it for free? Just postage. Hang on to it. You might be able to sell it back to him one day. Tell him he signed it. He might buy it. Yeah, tell him he signed it when he still had two eyes.
Wow. He's pretty arrogant, so he might. But speaking of Dan Crenshaw, thank you, Dan Crenshaw, who says, I lost my eye through a freak glory hole accident. Mommy taught me to look at my food before eating. Gross. Gross.
Never peek in the glory hole.
Changing who they vote for. It's not like they stuck to Jim Jordan, a very respected conservative leader. They didn't even stick to Jim Jordan. They just keep changing.
He's kind of taking the Hannity track here. They just keep changing. Okay, once again, they don't need to have a single candidate. All 20 of them could vote for a different fucking person.
Yeah.
They are not the ones who are actually putting somebody up there expecting it to win. This is just to keep McCarthy out.
Yeah, this is how obstruction works.
Yeah.
You get up there and say, no, not you. You don't have to put up somebody else. It's sort of like somebody coming into an argument and saying, well, you haven't presented any evidence. It's not my job to present evidence to counter your accusation. You're the one that's supposed to be providing the evidence as support. It's not my job. I'm just here to be like, I don't think that's accurate.
And what you could do, Dan, is put up somebody besides McCarthy and see if they vote for him. What you guys could do is get into a room and go, all right, you guys won't vote for them. What about Steve? What about Steve Scalise? What about Jim Jordan? Please don't be Jim Jordan. Don't take Jim from me.
No,
I
Jim
need
doesn't
him on
want it.
committee.
Yeah, he's not gonna do it.
But that's on you, Dan, because they've made it quite clear. Their motive right now is just not Kevin because he's a shitbag.
Yeah.
All right. Somebody was watching Hannity last night.
And so they don't actually want anything. It's
Do they or don't they? Because you can't make up your fucking mind on that. We're 3 minutes in and you've already contradicted yourself twice on that fucking point. I fucking hate this guy.
It should be very frustrating to the American people. People should realize there's no.
Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm pausing a lot. I'm not frustrated by this at all. I'm not. I'm willing. I don't care if this shit takes 3 months. I don't care if they set a record on how long it takes to vote. I really don't. Because I'm in no hurry for these shitbags to sit there and do nothing.
Yeah. Well, that's what it is, too, is they're trying to do the same shit they always do, which is nothing. Sit down and have a lot of pretty talks, say some speeches, and then nothing actually gets accomplished. Whereas the people that are trying to get these changes are actually trying to be proactive.
I'm seeing media folks and Republicans and Democrats, we'll see some of them later, all out there going, this has to get done quickly. We need this done. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
There's no reason for this to be rushed through.
What I say yesterday, 730 days in 2 years.
Yeah.
We're on day 3. Relax. We'll be fine. Lancelot, thank you. Please take all the time in the world. A do-nothing government will be a nice change. I agree.
Yeah, right? Like, this is less time for them to try and give more of our money and resources to Ukraine.
The last speaker was a first ballot speaker, and they just passed through a $1.7 trillion package to keep your government running that included money for Ukraine and Jordan and all kinds of other fucking places.
But no border security.
No border security. In fact, specifically against border security.
Yeah.
Did you see that prick Biden? I'm sorry. That motherfucker had the nerve to go up there today and say Republicans just wouldn't give him the resources to secure the border.
Yep.
After his package goes through with them specifically saying money can't be used for securing the border.
Oh, nobody read that thing, Monkey. What are you talking about?
Lancelot, I don't remember if I said it, but thank you so much for the donation. And Mike, thank you again. Even if they do something, it won't go anywhere. Senate will crush any bill sent, and if not, Biden will crush it. Yeah, but see, that's the part about this that is infuriating, Mike. McCarthy could have just told these people, yeah, we'll vote on all that shit. Because he knew it wasn't going to go anywhere. Even if he's opposed to it, it's not going anywhere. The Senate's not going to take up immigration. Not if it's stopping it. They're not going to take up that Texas bill. They're just going to leave it on the fucking floor. And instead, McCarthy's like, nah, bruh. Why would you do that? Unless you really didn't believe in securing the border. Professor Cass, thank you. 1, Crenshaw's bought off by the war profiteers. 2, Jim Jordan is bought off by Google and big tech. Go look at his donations. They're all corrupt. Look, for the record, I want you to understand. I don't need Jim Jordan up there because I think anything's going to come of what goes on in the House. I know all of these different committee that they're finally going to go in and investigate shit. I know nothing's going to change. I need the humor of it.
Yeah, plus a lot of stuff comes out in these things that is worth talking about and pointing out the corruption. And all politicians are scumbags. Never trust any of them. Some of them are slightly less scummy than the others. That's all.
I saw somebody today say that Kevin McCarthy, the reason he should be the speaker is because he's willing to do anything to become speaker. And I'm like, why would you want somebody in power that was willing to do anything to get it?
Yeah, that's the exact wrong type of person to have in power.
That's not who you want up there.
Oh, God, no.
Unless you're a retard. Anyway, if that's your reason why he should be elected, you should never talk about politics and you shouldn't vote. I'm just saying.
No nobility in these actions. There's no end game. There's no good that comes of this. You're not.
Their end game is anybody but McCarthy, homie. You don't have to like their end game, but stop fucking lying. God damn. We are 3 minutes in. How many times has this guy lied already? It's got to at least be 5 times, at least.
Well, let's just say if it were a drinking game, we'd both have alcohol poisoning.
Showing anyone up. It's completely ridiculous at this point.
Congressman-elect, do you get the feeling that this is bigger than the issues that they were demanding concessions from Kevin McCarthy? He went ahead and gave them the right for a speaker to be called or ousted by a mere one member, not 5 members. He went ahead and gave the members of the Freedom Caucus more power and clout on the Rules Committee, which sets legislation debate. So he did all of that, which makes me wonder if he did all of these things.
He gave them one thing they asked for, and 3 sat there on the floor while he's like, okay, you guys can be on the Rules Committee. Instead of committing to, yes, these will be up there, like, okay, a couple of you can be on the Rules Committee.
Yeah. And he wanted to pick who they were, too, by the way.
Yeah.
Were some of your more moderate colleagues concerned that he was caving and that they might abandon him?
There is a concern there. We're not at that point.
Well, I thought they were going to back him no matter what. If they don't, they're terrorists, aren't they, Dan? So if he gives in concessions and that makes some of the, I'm using air quotes here, moderates walk away from him, are they then terrorists?
Well, yeah, they're traitors. They're enemies, Monkey.
Enemies.
Their treachery must be exposed and punished.
Need to have a struggle session.
Yeah.
There are certainly red lines, especially when these guys start demanding that they get subcommittee chairmanships or other.
Okay, you dirty motherfucker. This was a dirty trick on McCarthy's part. McCarthy asked them, okay, if you guys were on committees, what committees would you want to be on? And so they were like, well, these ones. And McCarthy immediately runs to the press and goes, they want to be on these committees. Little dirty piece of shit.
Yep, because he's a scumbag, and it's one of the reasons to hate McCarthy.
Yep.
And the problem is a lot of people don't know this guy's record of being a total douche nozzle.
And this one just happened, and nobody in the news is talking about this part. But I guess. All right. Hey, lie to me, Dan. I like when you lie to me. It makes my dick hard.
Leadership positions, those are hard red lines. All right, because it's funny because they contradict themselves. On the one hand, they're concerned the speaker has too much power. On the other hand, they want the speaker to have all this power to give them personal favors.
No, Dan, he does have that power. Yeah, I can't even with this retard.
So which is it? Do you want this place to be a meritocracy, the way a conservative believes, or do you want this place to be the exact swamp that you claim to be your fight to be fighting? They contradict themselves constantly.
But
And it's extremely
this can't
frustrating.
go on ad nauseum, right? I mean, what is the
Yeah, actually could go on.
Yeah, it could go on until McCarthy finally figures out that, hey, he can't win.
Dan's problem here is he thinks he's smarter than he is.
Yeah.
And it's
Common
why
problem in Washington.
It's why he keeps trying to get his foot in his mouth. I mean, he can't because Kevin's wiener's in there, but he's trying real hard to shove that foot all the way down the back of his throat.
Yeah.
The end game here? We're hearing talk that maybe began with Marcy Kapner's comments yesterday from Ohio, the Democrat, that she crossed lines to deal with this. We raised that issue with California Democrat Ro Khanna, and he had his own demands. I want you to respond to this, sir. All right, you have to. They have
the same producers we have, apparently. That was supposed to be a clip of Ro Khanna. Now, I don't remember this part exactly what Ro says, but I do want to say this. There have been a couple of reports out there that maybe a Democrat or two will be willing to do something like to come over to help or to at least vote for changes to make it a plurality instead of a straight majority. every time Democrat leadership is asked about this, they say bullshit. We're sticking together. Every vote so far, the Democrats have stuck together. So, I mean, I don't necessarily trust anything we're hearing like, oh, they're going to do this. Until I see it, I don't believe it.
Yeah, I think if more people defected away from McCarthy and started rallying around somebody else, then you would see the Democrats defecting because they would much rather have a rhino like McCarthy over somebody else, even Steve Scalise, who's a little bit more conservative but still has some rhino leanings. He's at least much better than McCarthy. I mean, just look at McCarthy's voting record. It's fucking horrific.
Oh,
The
yeah.
guy's a total. He might as well be a Democrat. So a lot of the Democrats would rally around him in that case. But I think that'd be a Hail Mary desperation move, and they're nowhere near that.
Yeah, the Democrats are enjoying this right now. They don't have to do anything. They can just sit back and go, oh, look at the Republicans.
Yeah, which, I would totally understand that.
Sure. Because the Democrats only barely missed this fight back in 2015 or 2019. Because remember, the squad threatened to do this to Nancy Pelosi. And Nancy was like, try me, bitches, see what happens. Because the squad didn't quite have enough votes to do it. But anyway, here we go.
To take my word, what he told me essentially was, I'm open to crossing party lines, but it won't be for Kevin McCarthy. So then the other argument was, well, maybe if a number of Democrats just voted present and lowered the overall number of those voting, that would be a means by which, Kevin McCarthy would have a majority of that limited pool of people. But there would have to be some concessions to the Democrats to get that, right?
So Rose like, yeah, maybe I would go over. Liar. Your leadership wouldn't let you do that. They would punish you harshly. But the other thing is what we've talked about. If they vote present, every two people that vote present, that is one less person that you need for the win. So if they got it down, they'd have to have, 20 people? No, almost 40 people vote present to get it down the 20 votes that it would need for McCarthy to win at 201. I do not see 40 Democrats going present. They don't want to be the ones who didn't vote for Jeffries for the speaker, even though he has no chance of winning.
Yeah, it's the unification of the hive mind.
Yeah.
The concessions would be enormous. That's a nightmare scenario. That is not a scenario I want. I want us to come together as Republicans. We can still be a team here. But
hey, Dan, are the Democrats terrorists? They're not voting for McCarthy.
Yeah, he seems very conciliatory toward the Democrats, but hyperbolically enraged at the people on his own team that aren't falling in line.
No enemies here, apparently. It's a nightmare scenario, though, Jack. It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
What a fucking asshole.
that scenario you just outlined is very, very real. And there are Republicans who would do that. And we cannot let that happen.
So does it come back to, Congressman, I just wonder, you're closer to the situation than I'll be. You've been in those rooms. You've been very clear with these people how you feel. Several of them had talked to me about, it's a vibe that they don't like Kevin McCarthy. They don't really like the fact that he's using the Speaker's office in the interim, that he's arrogant.
He shouldn't
that
be.
They
Wait,
personally don't
stop. He shouldn't be using the Speaker's office. He's not Speaker.
Yeah, he's not. And that's the whole problem with this whole entire situation is his arrogance is taking over from his judgment.
Mm-hmm.
He feels the same way Hillary did, that he should be coronated with this title and this occupation he is owed. And it's fucking disgusting.
get along with him. Not all, I want to stress, but a good many, because to your point in these concessions that Mr. McCarthy has made, it's not enough. Maybe this comes back to a twist on that old phrase, Congressman. It's not business, quite the opposite. It's personal.
I just want to remind you guys, they forced McCarthy not to run back in 2015. I don't know why this is a surprise to anybody. They told him, if you run, you're not going to win. Don't do it. And he backed down like the little bitch that he is. And now he's like, it's my turn.
I'm owed.
It's-
Yeah, and if that sounds petty to you, it should, because it sounds petty to me. Again, you don't come.
it's not petty to say this guy personally is a bad person. I don't want him to be the one in charge.
Doesn't Crenshaw remind you of like every douchebag jock that you ever met? Like that, I'm so much better than you, peon nerd. Ugh.
He reminds me of people. Actually, I'm gonna go the opposite way there. People who would be like, I just don't like the jocks because they're horrible people. He acts like somebody who's better than everyone else.
Oh, absolutely. I just picture him shoving Matt Gaetz into a locker. Um, he's arrogant. He's not as smart as he thinks he is, and he's like one of the cool kids, at least in his mind.
He reminds me of somebody who didn't get invited to prom, and it's like, I didn't want to go anyway. Thank you, Scarpy. I get it, Dan. You're mad. Alibaba got a lucky shot, but not everyone who disagrees with you is a terrorist. Fair.
Yeah. Scrappy, does he really talk to his constituents like this? Because holy shit, I hope he gets primaried if he talks to his constituents like
this motherfucker should be primaried regardless.
Yeah, and this should be all these videos should be looped together and used. Because holy fuck, calling other members of his own party terrorists is so far across the line.
Come up here because you want to like everybody. You come up here for the business of the American people. Nobody else ran against Kevin McCarthy. Look, I would.
So?
Nobody ran against him for leader. When it comes time to be picked as Speaker of the House, it's not a run. It's a nomination. It's different, you fucking asshole.
He reminds me of Rachel McForehead in Mean Girls. Like he's got a little book full of mean things that he says about people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm gonna write my Mean Girl journal. Meh.
I have a very different opinion on how this is going. If one of them had been running for the last year, raising money, getting members elected, trying to win the majority, like.
And how'd that work out, Dan? How'd that work out? You guys should have won in a walk. The fucking Republicans should have taken the House by 60 new members. And you barely squeaked through. You have a 10-person majority. That's it. That's the legacy of McCarthy. With the worst economy we've had in 40 fucking years, this asshole only managed to get a 10-person majority.
Yeah. I like how they're trying to make this sound like some big landslide win. They barely won. Excuse me. And it's because of McConnell, McDaniel, and McCarthy, the triple M's, that fucked it all up. All the messaging was fucked up. They ran people against their own. It was ridiculous. And McCarthy had a strong hand in that. This is a mess of his own making.
Oh, wait a minute. In a minute, Jack, he's going to tell us how much McCarthy helped people.
Why does he look like he's grabbing butt cheeks right there? He's about to go in for the flavor.
No, this is him showing how he cups the balls when he's getting ready to cup the balls as he's going down. Oh, sorry, Nuts. Are you still here? My bad, sweetie.
Scrappy said he talks right over his constituents, even accusing. I don't know how they vote for him. I couldn't vote for this asshole. If he talks to his own voters that way, yeah, no fucking way would I vote for him.
Yeah.
Because that shows such contempt. Ugh.
Openly running against Kevin McCarthy. That's not what happened. They pull all this stuff out at the 11th hour. They keep.
No, they actually did it right at the right time.
Yeah, well, they were threatening to do this for months. Because they were talking behind the scenes for a very long time about their concerns. Well,
this is one of my problems with this, is they're acting like this is something weird. This is actually how the system is supposed to be set up.
Yeah.
Instead of all the backroom deals and bullshit beforehand, It's supposed to be out there in front of it for all of us to see.
Yep.
And then I know you told the 11th hour. Motherfucker, it was the first vote when it was scheduled to be voted on. That's not the 11th hour. That's the beginning, dickhead.
Yeah. I don't understand how he doesn't know how the system works.
Oh, he does.
He's such a douche.
See, this is why I wouldn't let you give him the charity earlier. He's just a fucking liar. All right, anyway.
Picking different candidates that they're going to support. They don't have a plan. So I have very little respect for this idea. Oh, I don't like them. They keep changing their reasons. They get what.
No, the reasons haven't changed. Stop lying, Dan.
He can't.
I'm going to drop the C-bomb, and we're not late enough in the show for that yet. Twat.
No.
I'm pretty sure twat's okay.
I don't know. I don't know the rules anymore.
What they want, and then they come up with a different reason why they can't do it. You don't have to like somebody. It's not about the personality. It's about what's important to the American people. And the American people don't care about these quabbles, these petty.
I care.
The American
I'm
people,
an American person.
The American people don't care about the Speaker of the House of the newly elected Republicans being a rhino. Hey, in chat, give me a 1 if you don't care about the Speaker of the House, who should be a Republican, basically being a Democrat. Let me see how many 1s we get.
Yeah.
American people
Mastiff's
don't
got a
care.
good idea. Oh,
What's
sorry.
that?
We could nominate Eye Patch McCain.
That would be funny if somebody nominated him. All right.
Petty differences here. What they care about is an open border. What they care about.
Are you fucking kidding me? What they care about, the first thing he tells us that they care about, is one of the fucking things that the holdouts want you guys to promise a vote on.
Yeah.
Are
Just
you
shows
kidding?
how disingenuous this man is.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Exactly, ham and beans. Excuse me, motherfucker.
Right?
Is their healthcare costs are too high. What they care about is that Biden is attacking our energy industry. They care about things that actually matter to them, and they want us to solve them.
Problem is you won't, Dan. The problem is Kevin's going to get up there and act like a fucking Democrat, like he always has. Can I say it one more time? California Republican.
Yeah.
You know, the first bill we were going to vote on, if this had gone smoothly, was defunding 87,000 IRS agents that the Democrats feel the need to empower to go after you and your taxes.
And you can still do that as soon as it's all done.
And
and
it's not like everything magically ceases to be. No, that you can conduct business after you resolve this agreement. And that's all this really is a disagreement.
And that bill is not going to be picked up in the Senate. They're not even going to vote on it in the Senate.
Yep.
So, wait, you're going to do something performative.
Oh, you know who does a lot of that?
Audience.
Rhinos.
Fucking asshole.
We want to stop that. Right? We want to fix our military. We want to focus on China. You called me member-elect. Why did you call me that? Because I'm not a member of Congress right now. I can't get classified briefings. I can't do my job. I can't do what we're supposed to do.
Well, if you're just a congressman-elect, then you don't really have a job, so you're doing your job. Shut up, you whiny bitch.
Yeah. Also, if you want
Stop
to be
clutching your pearls, Dan.
Oh, he can't, but he keeps them in a special love sack.
They're in his ass.
If he was really upset about all this, why doesn't he talk to McCarthy and say, hey, why don't you listen to these people, give them a couple things so they'll shut up and vote?
And everything he named there. Look, guys, I want the Congress, the House, to go through and pass a lot of this stuff. But it's going to die. It's never going to go to the Senate. If somehow it got passed through the Senate, it's never going to get signed by Biden. It's just not. This is their job right now is 2 years of obstruction. That's what they're there for. And the problem is that's not what they're going to do. They're going to capitulate because they're bitches. They're being
they're
run by
cowards.
bitches.
Sorry, what'd you say?
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Bill.
No, he's just. Even if the Bills don't go anywhere, at least it looks like they're kind of doing something. But what he wants to do is just capitulate to the Democrats and be like, "Well, we couldn't stop them." When really he's supporting their positions. They're just so desperate to hurry up and roll over because they're a bunch of do-nothing cowards. They're afraid to fucking win. And apparently there are a handful of people that actually want to get some things through. But, oh, dear God, no, we can't do that. Fuck you, Crenshaw. Fuck your bullshit friends. I'm so tired of these fucking neocons that are so willing to surrender. They're like, oh, somebody wants to sample my butthole. Let me spread my cheeks for you. It's amazing how desperate they are to lose.
When he's listing off the things that the American people want, he goes, the American people want the border secured. But then what was the first thing he said they're going to vote on? The IRS agents, which there's no fucking way they're going to get passed.
No.
So why wasn't your first thing funding for closing down the border? Why wouldn't that be your first vote? They already have it ready. It's the Texas plan. It's set. It's ready to go.
I don't know, man.
Because it's performative bullshit.
Yeah, and he knows it. But it gets him a little paycheck. And, yeah.
You can go ahead.
Thank you, Travis Gardner. At this pace, Kevin McCarthy will have first pick in the NFL draft. Yeah, probably.
To fix the border. I can't tell you what's going on with the cartels and introduce legislation to combat the Mexican drug cartels that are killing tens of thousands of people a year with fentanyl.
What's today's date?
January 6th.
6 days ago, he wasn't congressman-elect. He was congressman. 6 days ago, he could see the reports. Do you think they've changed that much in 6 days?
Nope.
He's making it sound like it's been, I haven't seen these reports in like 2 years. We just can't see them. He's going to make me drop an N-bomb. God damn it. I almost did it.
This is good eye looking the wrong way. Man, I'm mean to this dude.
He's a piece of shit, man.
Yeah, they're not going to do anything about the drug problem anyway. They never do.
Been less than a week.
Yeah. Like these are, like St. Fuki said, a lot of these are the same things they've been saying for years now, and they do nothing about. When they got in power and they had all three branches, they didn't do shit because the Republicans are all talk and no real action. They just sit there and have a couple of meetings to get their names in the paper so the media will bitch at them and occasionally interview them, and they get invited to the cocktail parties by doing nothing. They don't do anything, and people are sick of it. That's why some of these people that have just been elected, like Chip Roy and Lauren Boebert, who's fairly new still, actually want to get some shit done and changed, because you keep doing the same thing and it accomplishes nothing.
We can't do any of that because 20 people don't like Kevin McCarthy and think he's mean or think he lied to them once.
Or how about this? You can't get that done because 200 people won't just get out of McCarthy's ass. That's another way to look at it. You probably could see that if you had the other eye.
No, I don't think he could because he's pretty stupid.
They can't articulate what they want from him at this point.
Jesus Christ.
He keeps saying that, but then again, like you said, contradicting himself by pointing out things they said they want. Pick a lane, dude.
And this is an extreme disservice to the American people.
But is it possible, sir, that Kevin McCarthy botched it? That he's supposed to watch the numbers and the count? And you're right, he had 90% of the caucus going for him, the Republican route. But as you know, you need 218 votes. Just like when you run for president, you need 270 electoral votes. You don't win if you have 90% of that. So that maybe he was counting his chickens before they were hatched, and this is on him.
I'm not a big fan of Neil Cavuto because he's kind of a twat.
Kind of.
But that was a good question.
That actually was, because that kind of summed it all up right there.
That is literally the heart of the matter right there.
Yep.
He did not have the votes. And yes, he counted his chickens before they hatched so much that he moved into the speaker's office.
Yeah, because he expected to just be handed it. And no, that's not how any of this works.
Look how angry little Danny looks just at having heard that question. How dare
this
you,
was
Neil?
supposed to be a safe space.
I'm just not sure what else he was supposed to do. I mean, in an election, politics is always messy.
Yeah.
Right? Tell me what he did wrong. I don't know. Was it giving Lauren Boebert $2 million to win her race? Right? Was it giving Bob Good millions to win his race because he's not good enough to do it himself?
Did you hear that shit? Because he's not good enough to do it himself. Wow. Way to be conciliatory and try to bring them into the camp. No, here's what you're missing, dickhead. If he didn't have the votes, he should have been out there going, okay, how can I get your vote? And it's not just, here's $2 million for your race. It was, when we get in there, we have this, what can I do for you? How can I get your support? It's not just buying it, Dan. I mean, it's kind of buying it, but not in necessarily that manner. All they want is him to be not a rhino piece of shit. You need it boiled down to just a simplistic thing. Don't be a rhino piece of shit. How about that?
And let's not forget that that McCarthy helped to sabotage Cawthorn's re-election.
Yep.
Because Cawthorn was pro-Trump. If you don't believe me, I have an article on it right here for the audience.
What was he supposed to do? Was he supposed to give $2 million to Boebert? Oh, you fucking asshole! I don't know what he was. What was he supposed to do? He was supposed to build the bridges to get those votes, which he just didn't do. Neil was right. He didn't have the votes. He didn't count them. He should have been like, I don't have these. I guess I will let somebody else do it because they still don't like me.
Yeah. Little Galaxy over on Rumble just said, McCarthy revealed he had dinner with billionaire son of Nazi Klaus Schwab at the World Economic Forum in 2018. Yeah. Is anyone shocked by that? Because I'm not.
Well, like I said, there's footage of him actually up on the stage at the World Economic Forum. He's a piece of shit, man.
All right. Real quick. Thank you, the Glory Hole, who says, excuse me, Republicans do nothing? Motherfucker, Dan works with me a lot. Well, it is how he lost his eye, apparently. So, thank you, Glory Hole.
I mean, what is it?
Do you think it goes back to the whole January 6th thing and he was appalled at the way Donald Trump handled that at the time, and then those revelations came to light, and it gave some of these members and maybe some of your own more moderate colleagues a signal, we don't know where he stands on things. Maybe this is all being magnified now, Congressman-elect, I understand that. But something is coming back to haunt McCarthy because these numbers ain't budging.
Okay, can I just... I know we've talked about this over and over again. He wanted to be speaker in 2015, and they told him then, you don't have the votes. We are not voting for you. And he had to step down. You don't even have to point at January 6th and the fact that he hung all these people out to dry when you can't actually point to anything that the people in Congress did wrong. You don't even have to point to that. We have the history of them already telling him, 7, 8 years ago, fuck off. No, this was October of 2015 when Boehner steps down and Ryan steps in.
Yeah. It
was supposed to be McCarthy's turn then. And they told him to go fuck himself. Why are they acting like this is some new thing?
It was his turn, monkey. His turn.
Jesus Christ. All right, I can't watch any more of this shit. Sorry. We're going to move on to Tucker.
You get the link you can toss in chat for the audience.
I'm doing that right now. This is a YouTube chat or a YouTube link. So you don't have to worry about it being on Twitter this time, guys. because I've been trying to get YouTube links. Jack, can you take over for a sec?
Sure. St. Fugi said that Vaush was on TYT. And that's gross, by the way. Wow. Fucking ridiculous. He was on a panel with Mitch McConnell's wife, the shipping heirs of Chinese descent. Yeah, McConnell's got a lot of ties to shipping. It explains a lot about why things are getting loosened up over it on China. And I mean, nobody should be shocked by that.
All right, sorry about that.
Oh, no worries.
Okay.
Everything all right?
Oh yeah. No problems at all.
I guess it's a little preemptive to say Megatron's fallen then.
No, it was he was actually looking for a Nintendo game.
Oh. Well,
but I don't have it. He has it somewhere. No, seriously, he already has it. I just don't. It's in the other Switch is all.
Oh, did you check Phoebe's hiding places? She might have it.
I don't think it's her this time.
You don't know that.
All right, this is from Tucker tonight, Jack. Pretty much on the same subject. So let's just jump in because do you remember how Mr. Crenshaw told us that the 20 Republicans were enabling the Democrats?
Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson. Tonight, Kevin McCarthy's just
Volume okay? Did I share audio?
That's fine. Yeah,
okay.
That's fine.
lost the 11th round trying to be speaker.
By the way, I just want to stop and say it is so funny that he's being embarrassed so badly. 11. First time in 100 or more than 100 years. What is it, 160 years that it's gone this long?
Yeah, I think it was 1859.
Yeah, well done, Kevin. Well done indeed.
Fucking idiot.
Although I would like to say, people, please stop calling it historic. If it's happened before and it's happened worse, it's not historic.
Well, technically it could be historic because it's been so long, but I get your meaning. Yeah.
It's odd, it's unusual.
It's hilarious.
It's fucking funny, but that doesn't make it historic. Now, if he gets to 134, then it's historic, and that's funny as shit. I hope he makes it. I really do. I'm rooting for him.
I'm holding out for a new record.
Yeah, I want to see him break the record.
Did you see the Democrats tried to keep them from closing session so he could lose more?
Yes. They're actually the reason it went as long as it has been, because the last several days, the Democrats, we'll just do it after 3. Like, nah, fuck it. We want to see how this goes.
Well, I
Anyway.
mean, the comedy value is priceless.
And it's funny how we're supposed to feel about this. We're all supposed to be highly upset, outraged, appalled, on the verge of tears about the fact that some of his colleagues are trying to make it hard for Kevin McCarthy to become the Speaker of the House. Very upset. But why exactly is it so upsetting?
Exactly. Seriously. Why is everybody acting like, oh my God, this is such a big deal?
Because he didn't get coronated. This is exactly how Hillary voters were bitching and moaning.
Yes. And it's insane. All right.
Yeah. Hey, real quick. Thank you, Cult of Krill. Honest question. If McCarthy fails to become speaker, do you think he will reassign, possibly giving he will resign, possibly giving the Dems another seat? No, I think he's too arrogant for that. He'll find a way to just bitch and moan about it forever. But I don't think he'd resign.
I think you'd see a lot less of him, but no, I don't think he'd resign. Over on the Streamlabs, thank you so much, Jordan. I had a question. So is this what the squad was threatening to do to Pelosi before they fell in line like good little donkeys? Yes, it is.
Absolutely.
But they did not have the numbers to do it because it would have just been the 4 of them. They wanted other people to get on board with them. They wanted the Bernie wing basically to get on board, and everybody else was like, nah, fuck no, I want my cushy assignments. Because make no mistake, Kevin McCarthy came out today, Jack, and he said, they're not going to be punished. And the reporter was like, yeah, but you guys said they would be. And he goes, I didn't say it. And I forget who it was who did. And McCarthy goes, yeah, but I didn't say it. Nobody's going to be punished for this.
Yeah, right.
Bullshit. Yes, they did, Monkey. What was the breakdown in the 116th Congress?
I think they had more support initially, and then some people backed out when they were given cush assignments.
No, I looked for the 116th. Not this is the 2020. I don't want the 2020, you shitbags.
No.
Yeah.
While you're doing that, thank you, Crenshaw's proctologist. Sorry, guys, I tried to stop it, but sadly, Dan has disappeared up his own ass. Yeah, well, I mean, are we surprised? But thank you, Crenshaw's proctologist.
Now I'm curious because I'm trying to find the breakdown, and for some reason I can't find it.
Oh, we're on a side quest, everybody.
I don't want the son of a bitch.
Just search it by keyword.
I did.
Oh, I got nothing. Then you're on your own.
I don't know what Google's doing to me.
Same thing Google always does, screwing you over.
116th. There we go. But where's the breakdown? Son of a bitch.
Breakdown, takedown.
Okay, here's the house.
Evil One may have the best nickname for Crenshaw, Winky, because it always looks like he's winking.
Nice.
That is so derogatory. Hey, Winky. What is he, a munchkin in the land of Oz? Like, oh, no, I'm sorry, the Winkies were from the other side. Yeah, but Dan Winky Crenshaw.
Yeah, the Democrats had 222 to 211, so 4 of them wouldn't have been enough to stop it. Wouldn't have been enough to stop Nancy. They'd had to have more people come on board. Isn't that what I said?
Yeah, but I think they had more people initially, and then Nancy was like, get on board with this, and they pushed out.
All right. Monkey should fire his producer and my fact checkers. They're slow as shit. All right. Anyway, here we go. Why does he need 218? Because you have to have a majority, and the breakdown is 217 in the middle because we have 343 or 434 right now. So you had to have half plus the one. Half would be 217, and one would make it 50%, just over 50%. All right.
It should be hard to become Speaker of the House in this country. Very hard. It's a big job. It's one of the most powerful jobs in the world. It's not one of those positions you give to elderly men who've campaigned from their basement.
That's funny as shit.
Yeah.
And he's right. I mean, I know it's said, but you guys do realize how close the speaker is to the presidency, right?
Third in line.
The chance of them ever getting that job is really slim, like ridiculously slim. It's why we keep the president and the vice president separate so often.
Yeah. But it's always a possibility.
Yeah. So it really is important. It shouldn't just be, okay, it's your turn.
Yeah, this is not a little league game where you're like, everybody gets a turn.
That's why it would be funny if they made Trump. It really would.
I'd fucking laugh.
Although, I don't know if the Secret Service would allow that because there's crazies out there who try to make that happen.
Sadly.
All right.
If you want to be the guy who's second in line from the presidency in America, you got to work for it. And Kevin McCarthy certainly has worked for it this week. Whatever you think of him, you get the feeling McCarthy would crawl naked through a sewer to get this gig. And that's not necessarily an insult, by the way. It's what it takes.
I'm going to disagree with you a little bit. I don't want somebody like that. I really don't. He is so desperate for power that he would literally do anything. He thought that he could just bully these people into voting for him anyway. And he's learning that that's not true. And so he is finally starting to give in to their demands. because he wants it so bad. Beware of people who want power.
Oh, absolutely. Especially neocons, rhinos, and Democrats, or commies. Real quick, thank you, Jordan250. I drank some food coloring. I don't recommend it. Feels like I died a little inside.
Oh dear God.
That's funny as shit. Oh, also, I think this crawling naked through the sewer might be a new requirement for the house.
It should be.
For it.
That should be how they get in.
Yeah, I think they should make that mandatory.
Yeah, you got to take your clothes off so you can hold them up when the wall of water comes.
Yeah, and then they can bathe in the rain like in Shawshank.
Nah, let them be stinky.
Well, I mean, they get enough stink on them just from being politicians.
Obviously. Maybe it's what it should take. So if you take a deep breath and you think about it for a second, nothing we have seen in Washington recently, the supposedly apocalyptic world-ending drama of politicians arguing with each other, none of it qualifies as especially unusual or even bad.
I'm going to disagree with you just a little bit more because Lauren Boebert brought this up in her speech today when she was nominating. I forget the guy's name.
Trump?
No, not Trump. She nominated. I forget the name. I really do.
Doesn't matter.
But she was talking about how the chamber's often empty. Maybe this was on yesterday's speech. The chamber's empty. People are voting, proxy. I want you guys to look at this chamber right here because this is the motion to adjourn today. This is how the House looked all day. The last 2 days, those seats have been filled. Mm-hmm. Absolutely filled. Everybody there when it was voting time and everything. But it wasn't like that at all today. It was like this. It was like it normally is. They're not normally up there actually voting. Half the time, they don't even vote. They have somebody else vote for them.
Showing up and doing your job's hard, monkey.
They're lazy pricks who spend most of their time fundraising.
Look, you want them to do the things for the American people? The plebs, really?
I want them to at least do their fucking job.
Oh, man, you are asking a lot.
And part of the thing that the 20 have been asking, another one that they want is they do want an end to proxy voting. They want an end to committees by conference call. You actually have to get your ass there and have the meeting in the room.
What, with COVID?
You have to come and sit in the chair where you're supposed to be for these meetings instead of these ridiculous teleconferences.
Sounds like work.
I mean, they're literally asking these people to do their jobs. How dare you? How dare you? Fuck off.
Right. Gets called him a squatter for moving in the speaker's office.
Yeah.
That's funny. Hey, thank you, Pumpkin Trucker Matt. Hold up. If the Cyclops dudes on Kroll can only see their own demise, why can't Danny Boy see what he's doing to his career? Because he's dumb. But great reference. Kroll was an awesome movie.
Jeff says, I heard Boebert eventually voted for McCarthy. Not on any of the votes I saw. McCarthy never went over 201, and there were 21 voting against him. Well, 20 voting against him and 1 voting present all day. Every vote I saw. So I don't know where you heard that. Maybe she's gonna do it, but no, as far as I know, even the 11th vote was 201, 212. That one had a lot more random votes.
Yeah. There was a guy that voted in abstention because he had to go home for a medical thing. So a lot of people are saying they have 21 now. That's not true. The guy had a known existing doctor's appointment, and he couldn't be there to vote.
That's right. I need to stand corrected. It was 200, not 201 on several of the votes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Elf says MTG was the one voting McCarthy. Yeah, she was. I really want to know during one of the, when they're vote tallying things, Marjorie Taylor Greene was sitting with, they were actually separated by 2 people, but she was sitting with Matt Gaetz and they were talking. And I really want to know what they were talking about.
It's probably something lame.
It didn't look like it. It looked not quite heated, but certainly passionate.
I like that there were rumors going around that she's banging McCarthy because apparently he has some history of like relationships with other Congress people.
Yeah, and didn't she end up? Did she just get divorced too? Because I know Boebert. Boebert's the one that's not getting divorced. Green is the one that just got divorced or is getting divorced.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, were you taking that McCarthy dick?
I thought he was gay.
I mean, you can be gay and still bang a chick.
That's true. And he might bat for both teams. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
she's going to have a three-way with him and Frank Lutz, but that
Oh,
would
yeah.
be very blobby. I
Maybe.
mean, the melting puppet and the dude that looks like a mushroom man.
Maybe she's the roast beef in that sandwich, man.
Ugh,
I'm just saying.
that's a visual I didn't need.
Or even bad. This is what democracy looks like when you get up close. I want one thing, you want another thing. We schedule a vote to see who gets it, or in this case, 11 votes. But whatever. How is that a disaster? Well, it's not a disaster. It's how.
I had a tweet deleted on Twitter today, Jack.
Oh, yeah? What'd you do?
Well, here's the thing. I wasn't told it was deleted. I didn't get in trouble for it, but it was deleted. A CNN commentator, said that this was a disservice to democracy.
No.
I asked, wait, a democratic process is a disservice to democracy? Seriously, are you fucking retarded?
That's how it got deleted.
It got deleted, but they didn't even tell me about it. So apparently there's now stealth deletions going on over there.
Jesus Christ.
I reached out to Elon. He didn't answer because he never takes my calls.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently there's stealth deletions going on Twitter. And the only reason I know that it was stealth deleted is because sometimes I will retweet myself and then later undo the retweet and do it again just for the fun of it.
Yeah,
and I went to do that and it wouldn't let me. It said this tweet has been deleted. I'm like, no, it isn't. I can see it right there.
You can see it. The rest of the world can't.
No one else can see it. Yeah.
That's sneaky. That's the type of shit YouTube does.
Yep. Absolutely cannot share it again. And it's gone. I thought it was funny and, well, true.
Yeah. But this is what democracy actually looks like.
Yep.
It's a messy process with a lot of people arguing. And eventually people either work it out or you end up killing each other.
I'm still waiting for somebody else to get their ass kicked on the House floor. It's been a long time since that's happened.
Yeah. Well, we're not Europe. We're not a bunch of savages. What's up, Europe?
Thank you, Donald Camp. Good night, monkey. I'll finish in the morning just one more time. Awesome backpacks. Thank you for the feminist donations.
Thanks, Donald.
The system is supposed to work. But don't tell the moron community that.
I love that he called him that.
I know, right?
I don't watch a lot of Tucker, but I might have to start more because he insults people and I enjoy it.
Yeah, he's funny about it too. So
they're too overwrought to hear you. Watch.
Before we watch, I just want to remind you, Kevin McCarthy said that the 20 were empowering the Democrats.
True.
Right? They were empowering the Democrats. So keep that in mind as we watch this, because I feel like there's a moment you guys are going to go, oh. Thank you, Keldrig. I think Gates and MTG are hate fucking. Maybe.
Oh, it'd be funny if she was banging Gates.
I think she's a little too old for his taste, from what we've heard. Just gonna throw that out there.
An epic fail and stunning humiliation for Kevin McCarthy, who took the knee for Donald Trump, then gave away the store to the cuckoo fringe of his party.
You couldn't
the cuckoo fringe, by the way, that was Joy Reid, if you're not familiar with her voice.
Yeah, Joy Reid, who apparently didn't know that he specifically got Cawthorn out because he was a MAGA supporter.
The only thing surprising about Joy Reid there is that she didn't somehow find a way to make it racist.
Oh, give her time. She'll figure something out.
Oh, we have a video to watch. I think I have that clip. We'll get to it's being racist. We'll get to that later.
fringe of his party.
You couldn't construct a narrative that combines the elements of extremism, election denialism, and incompetence more perfectly than the last 12 hours on the Republican side in the House.
It's embarrassing, I do, and there's a lot of hard feelings on both sides. Again, you have 90% of the caucus, 90% of the caucus standing firmly behind Kevin McCarthy.
They look
petty.
Caucus.
Caucus.
You know, that guy's not wrong. No matter how this shakes out, there's hard feelings here.
Yeah, well, they've instead of coming to the table and having a conversation like civil adults, now they're resulted to calling each other names and calling each other terrorists and shit like that. So there's gonna be hard feelings, and I don't blame anyone on the side of the 20 for being pissed off about this, because it didn't have to go this way. He could have just come to the table, made a few considerations, given them like half of what they wanted, and this would have all been resolved. Instead, he's like, fuck you guys, you're gonna fall in line.
Yep. All right. Oh. This guy hasn't been relevant since the first Clinton campaign, and yet he is always on TV. I don't know why.
Carville?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Fox News trotted out Karl Rove and some other fucker whose name escapes me now. I'm like, are you kidding me? I don't care about what Karl Rove thinks. He hasn't been relevant and creeping up on, 15 years?
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Well, Carville did a good job in the first Clinton election. He really did. He was irrelevant in the second one, and he hasn't gotten anything right politically since.
No, because he's a stupid lefty.
He even gets lefty politics wrong.
Yeah. Well, he's not very smart, so.
I mean, they're putting on a show. I'll call it political porn.
Has decided instead to pull the pin on the grenade and toss it among themselves. What an extraordinary moment of political failure by a political party.
It's either.
Wow.
It's a vote they're supposed to be having.
Yeah. No, the hive mind dictates that you're supposed to just fall in line with your leaders.
This really does irritate the shit out of me, because this really is how things should happen. That's what Boebert said today that I was interested in. She said, this is the first time in forever that we've had an actual debate on the floor.
Yeah, she's not wrong.
Personal against Kevin, or remember that this is the same brain trust that brought you almost 2 years ago, January 6th.
You see, guys, it's just them damn January 6thers.
Dun, dun, dun.
These people are fucking retarded.
Yep.
The way that they've gone about trying to achieve these demands has resulted in essentially this terrorist standoff.
That sound familiar?
Yeah.
Between them and the overwhelming majority of people in their conference.
Just because the majority says something doesn't make it right. Well, I go back to the same analogy somebody put in chat a while ago. Gang rapists held a vote, okay? And the chick lost. That doesn't mean it's a good idea.
I didn't hear any of those Democrats repeat any of Boebert or Gates or Donald's or Roy's talking points.
Nope.
I heard them repeat Crenshaw's.
Yep.
So which one's empowering the left? Oh.
It's a mystery.
It's a mystery. Actually, I think that's all I really wanted to watch on this Tucker one. I'll throw it into chat if you guys want to watch the rest. I just wanted to show that part, like, that language sounds familiar. Sounds real familiar.
Real quick, thank you, Keldrick. Brain trust. There's neither brains nor trust in this brain trust, right? I think a lot more voters are siding with these 20 Republicans than the leadership wants to admit to.
Well, just for point of record, or point of personal privilege, or point of privilege, whatever the fuck it is, when he said brain trust, he was talking about the 20. Dun, 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 dun. I have one more video I want to watch in regards to this. Although that one would be funny too. Where the hell did that go? Oh, there it is. Have you noticed if you scroll down quickly on Twitter, sometimes it jumps really, really far for no reason?
Yep. Does that to me all the time.
Fucking hate that shit.
That does it when you go up or down too quick for some reason.
Yeah.
It might be because we both tweet way too much.
It doesn't like the way I hump my Twitter timeline. All right. Let's bring this one up on screen, Jack. Okay. I need a sound check on this one.
Things I've been thinking about.
A little loud, but I'm sure it's fine for the audience.
I'm just going to bring it down a little bit because it is a little loud to me too. All right. So this is somebody over there on MSNBC. I don't know who she is.
Things I've been thinking about watching this ordeal unfold is Fox News's impact not only on the Republican Party, but actually also on Republican voters.
Most of Fox News is on the side of McCarthy. I just want to point that out.
Yeah.
It seems that only Tucker is willing to stand up and go, this is stupid. You guys are being dumb. But anyway.
I mean, what must the voters who sent these individuals to Washington think of our government?
Well,
we think you're a bunch of incompetent shitheads, but that's not new.
If they're watching this and they voted for somebody like, say, Boebert or Gates, or actually voted on Republican principles, they're probably thinking, cool, finally.
Finally, some people with balls. Yeah.
Yeah. It's about time. That's what they're thinking. I love that. I wonder what they're thinking. These Fox News people have been indoctrinated by the Fox News, who have brainwashed them over there at the Fox News, who've given them these bad thoughts over there at Fox News. I love how Fox News had to be part of this. There was no reason for her to bring up Fox News. But look what Fox News has done.
It's their boogeyman. Even though Fox News is way leftier than anyone wants to admit most of the time. Even my dad, who's a diehard Fox News watcher, he's like, these people are a bunch of fucking commies. Except Tucker, I like him.
That's how it seems to be these days.
Really does. But Tucker is carrying that show, or that channel.
And if you want to say, okay, Fox News is still with the Republicans because it's McCarthy, McCarthy's not a Republican. All right, stop. He's a Republican in name only. He's a California boy.
Yep.
All right. But we're not done yet. There's something near the end of this. It's just beautiful.
Right.
If this is who they sent. I mean, when you talk to some of these individuals, you get a sense that, politicians are all crooks anyway. And
fact.
Do you think she was talking to individuals, though? Let's be honest.
No.
Especially Republican individuals?
She don't look like she associates with the plebs.
Come on, sweetie. Stop playing. And why you got an Adam's apple? Never mind.
It's a man, baby.
it's a joke anyway. Or, you know what, let's burn it to the ground. And really, that's what these people were sent to do, or to make a mockery of it. I mean, the other element.
See, that's what they were sent to do, was to just burn it down, make a mockery of our government. How do you start off the question with, what? I wonder what the people must think. I mean, even though they sent them there to make a mockery of it. Well, in that case, sweetheart, they would be perfectly fine with your take on what's going on.
Yeah, make a mockery of it? What are they, Antifa?
Apparently. Here we go.
Element here you touched upon a couple minutes ago, which is just that some of these individuals were people who were really only elected based on a litmus test to stop the tide of diversity in the country, the browning of America, the fears that surround that.
The browning of America?
They were elected to stop the browning of America.
She knows that we support, like, Rick Scott.
Well, I want to show you on the screen right here next to her, right there. That is a black man.
Yeah, Donald's. Yeah, he looks like he might be okay.
He's certainly a shade of brown.
Yeah, I don't think they understand that the majority of Republicans don't give a shit about that anymore. They want people with actual values.
They don't give a fuck about the color. They really don't.
No, because ain't nobody got time for that when the country's falling apart, southern border's wide open, and we might be on the verge of World War III.
You know who cares about color? I'm just circling her right here. Right there. That's who does. They were there to stop the browning of America. Okay, so let me get this straight. The 200 that are voting for the honky, they're not there to stop the browning of America. The ones who all day yesterday voted for the black guy, they're there to stop the browning of America.
What does that mean? Like, I know what she's trying to say there, but the browning of America, it sounds like you're having a cookout, which sounds awesome. Nobody wants to stop a cookout, lady, especially on the 4th of July.
The browning. Oh, for fuck's sake. Keldrick, thank you so much. America is apparently ground beef in a skillet now. Yes. Yes, indeed.
I hope we are the good kind of hamburger helper.
Look, if you're going to say something stupid like that, at least make it make sense with what's actually going on.
Right? Real quick. Thank you, Frosted Glass. Jack's dead. You people are a bunch of fucking commies. Girl Scouts. So that's a no on the Thin Mints. I'd have to correct you because my dad loves Thin Mints. So he might think they're commies, but he's absolutely going to buy their Thin Mints.
They are commies, and Thin Mints are gross.
Yeah, and having been a Boy Scout, Boy Scouts was awesome until they let all the pedos in, apparently.
Scarfy, thank you. I just want Donald to see how the Democrats react. Well, there was a moment, I don't remember if that was today or yesterday, because Donalds gets nominated and Jeffries is nominated, and somebody got up there and said, I just want to take a moment to recognize that this is the first time we've had 2 black candidates for the speakership.
Oh, wow.
And everybody gets up and claps, including McCarthy.
Yeah, and then everybody went back to not caring.
Frank Hubbard, thank you. Not care about color. Inconceivable, indeed, right?
Yeah.
Well, did you see that one of the, I don't watch the show, but oh fuck, what's the name of it? The one that gave us Millie Bobby Brown.
Oh, Stranger Things?
Stranger Things, yeah. One of their actors came out as gay.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
So what does everybody think we live in, like 1985?
No, they all think we live in 1950, remember?
Yeah, the concept of linear time seems to be needing more explanation in schools.
Like, literally nobody gives a shit that you're gay, all right? That's between you and your boyfriend. Nobody else cares. Shut up.
Yeah. I thought most of those boys were gay. So,
well, they're in Hollywood. They were probably forcibly gay.
Yeah. They were I can't say it. I can't fucking say
it. They were young boys in Hollywood. They probably got butt fucked by their producers. Let's just be honest here.
Was Bryan Singer on the staff?
Yeah, we know what happens to kids in Hollywood, and still people take their kids out there.
Because people that want the fame and notoriety don't give a shit about their kids.
All right, I only have one other story that I want to talk about. I have a bunch of crap, but I'm going to skip most of it because I want to try to get to some of your stuff tonight and still do a game stream later.
Nice.
Fed up workers find new ways to get even with bad bosses. Give away stuff.
Stealing? Yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah. This tells the story of some people on TikTok who are going on there and admitting that they say that they didn't get proper compensation. Their paychecks were not coming when they should. By the way, you should go to the state boards on this kind of stuff if that's happening.
Yeah. Well, labor board's always a good one to go to because they'll back you up most of the time.
Yep, and if there's any retribution, then you can sue. That's the way you do it. If you start giving massive discounts on stuff, you're gonna go to jail.
Yeah, and then they won't pay you at all.
It's theft. But apparently they're bragging on TikTok. Like this one chick said she gave a customer $50 off some Air Jordans. Probably not a good idea. Sorry, 50% off. Not a good idea.
No, not only are you going to get fired, they're going to throw your ass in jail. And whereas if you'd gone to the labor board and there was any kind of inconvenience toward you, you could have sued them for a pile of money.
Yep.
And been like, they retaliated. You get a massive payout. These people are dumb. TikTokers are some of the stupidest people on the planet. And people that get on TikTok start losing IQ points. I don't know if that's like what they did with that coronavirus information that China got, but it's got an effect on people's brains.
The manager at the job treated us horribly, so I gave one customer 50% off a pair of $110 Air Force Jordans, Gibbs 19. A business administration student from Lake Charles, Louisiana, told the Post. Yeah, you know what a lot of colleges will do if you get busted for stealing? They'll kick you out.
Yeah.
Now, I want to be clear on this. This is not just my guess. I've had to sit in before, Jack, and watch video and match it with receipts to see people lowering prices for their family members, and then we fired them and called the police.
Yeah, they have programs like the Sherlock Report, which lets you watch them scan things, and then it pops up on the screen so you can make sure that the tags are appropriate to what's going through.
Yep.
And you can watch them do discounts. So, because when I was working at security at a big box store, we had people taking the stickers off votive candles and putting them on the bottom of 6 packs of beer. So they were paying 99 cents for a 6-pack. And there was a guy who was in on it that worked with us, and then we had to bust him. I sat there watching hours and hours of this guy do it, and he confessed even more than we knew about. Fucking insane. But there are programs that do that, and there are cameras on every checkout lane.
Yep. And let me assure you, at Walmart, they will treat you harsher if you're a employee who steals from them than if you are a customer who does.
Oh, absolutely. Because you got to send a message to all the other employees.
At Walmart, you were empowered as a cashier to do certain things, like if because we had the laws about pricing.
Yeah, but it's like $5 or 10% or something.
Yeah, you had to be able to explain it if there was ever a question, and very few people had any issues ever. But we had 2 or 3 of them over the years that I worked there. Yeah, they tried this stupid shit and they ended up in jail for it. Good job.
Yeah, dumbasses.
Well done. And, you know, in those cases, I mean, it's not a good thing, but they were trying to help their family members out. Okay, stupid, but at least I can understand. These people, I'm mad at my boss. Well, tell them that when you're getting raped in prison.
Well, they also think that doing their job is quiet quitting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's quiet quitting. I was watching, who was it? P-Dog on his, he was watching or reading through this list of things these words that you need to get rid of. And quiet quitting was one of them. And I forget the reason why, but it was stupid. And it wasn't the real reason. The real reason you should get rid of the term quiet quitting is because it's not quitting. It's just doing your job. That is such a retarded phrase.
Sounds complicated.
I'm quiet quitting. Oh, so you're not going to work there? No, I'm finally going to do my job.
I'm just going to sit here quietly, like we've all been asking you to do since you got hired.
And then that's you know that person's going to be the one. I don't understand why everybody else is getting promoted except me.
Because you're doing the bare minimum, you lazy shit.
Big fucking mystery.
Yeah.
Fucking idiots. Oh, dear God. Biden expected to announce more Ukrainian. Didn't we just give him $45 billion?
That wasn't enough, monkey. Wait till you see what we are giving them, though.
Including sending Bradley fighting vehicles. Sure, why not?
Yeah, because Russia already thinks we're flat out just in this war. Why not give them some Bradleys, too?
I'm curious. We were told the only thing that was going over there is defensive weapons. Is the Bradley a defensive weapon?
It can be.
I mean, No, it's not. I'm sorry. No,
and
it's
quite
not.
honestly, the Patriot missile batteries are not defensive either. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just ask the Polish.
Yeah. But apparently we're giving those to them too. And Russia said if we actually deliver those, they're going to consider us a combatant.
Elf says thought it was closer to 100 billion. No, 100 billion is the total when you add that 45 billion in.
Yeah.
We'd
This
already
is
given
more
them
money in addition to that.
Yeah, we'd already given them 55 billion. The bill that the omnibus bill that just went through was another 45 billion, bringing the total to 100. All right. The Biden administration is expected to announce a new round of military assistance for Ukraine on Friday that will include equipment the U.S. has not previously provided, according to 3 U.S. officials. Biden on Thursday announced that Bradley fighting vehicles will be part of the new package. When do we send the Abrams?
Give them time. Look, he'll deplete all of our defensive stuff for these clowns just to help get the money laundering going again.
No. This is not defensive. That is an offensive vehicle.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That is an armored vehicle with a turret on it.
Why don't we look? They're already. Hyman said, "Just send the fucking troops at this point." Fuck.
Yep.
Yeah, but there's already boots on the ground there. We talked about that because they're sending people there to train these people, these Ukrainians, to use the Patriot missile batteries.
Yep.
And they're going to need some of our guys there in case something goes wrong anyway. So we're already going to have boots on the ground in there. There'll just be a handful of them. And we're giving them a ton of our equipment. The Pentagon has already bitched that we are critically low on things like ammunition. And now, including missiles, by the way. And now you want to give them the bunch of Bradleys and Patriot missile batteries? Are you trying to get us invaded?
Even one says it's called the Bradley fighting vehicle. Indeed. Frank, thank you so much. The best defense is a good offense, right? Well, I suppose.
That appears to be the mentality.
The announcement was made in conjunction with Germany, which plans to send Marder infantry fighting vehicles. That doesn't sound defensive either.
Well, they're defensive in that they run in and blow things up to kill infidels who betrayed the I don't know. I got nothing.
The total price tag of the package will be nearly $3 billion, according to 2 U.S. officials.
And like everything else that comes out of the government, that's probably about half of what the real expense is going to be.
President held a phone call with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz on Thursday afternoon. The White House said the two leaders reiterated their support for Ukraine's sovereignty and independence. They reaffirmed their unwavering solidarity with Ukraine and the Ukrainian people in the face of Russia's aggression. The aid package will be the first from the $45 billion Congress assistance. Oh, so this is coming from that $45 billion?
I don't know. They kind of indicate that in this that it might be additional money, but the important thing is the Bradleys. That was what I cared about. I don't give a fuck whether this is new money or old money. It doesn't really matter at this point. Giving them the Bradleys really ups this quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, it does say right there, the aid is part of a new round approved by Congress. Okay, so it's not in addition. I agree with you, Jack, but I just want to be clear on whether it was new or old, because that does matter to me. If we just gave them $45 billion and we're like, yeah, we got to give them another $3 billion, that is more offensive than just the $45 billion. The problem with it, though, is that we have said that we will not give them offensive weapons, and that is quite clearly an offensive weapon.
Yep.
And this is not going to be something that they can just jump in and start running. We're going to need more Americans there to train them on it.
Oh, and then just wait. They'll put one right in harm's way to get him killed. They'd be like, look what the Russians did. They declared war on us by killing our servicemen. I mean, this is predictable. They so desperately want to go to war with Russia. I don't know why, but they desperately do. And they already have intercepted Russian agents at the border. Last year, we talked about it on the show.
Yep.
This is not our war. Why are we fighting in Europe when it in no way involves us. This is not a global war that needs to happen. They are so desperate, and McCarthy is right on board with this shit. Where's his little Ukraine pin? Fuck him. Fuck all these people. I don't want to watch a bunch of Americans die needlessly in some backwater shithole corrupt country to fight Russia because Biden's ego needs it and a bunch of bloodthirsty warmongers in Congress want it.
Low Galaxy says the vehicle will get a new definition that will make it okay. Yeah, it'll be the Bradley defensive vehicle.
Yeah. They'll rename it the Zelensky for in honor of the righteous hero of Freedom Land.
Scrappy says, hey, send in Crenshaw. Well, his depth perception is just all off. He'll probably end up in Poland.
He'll kill a village full of Polish people.
He was trying to drive into Ukraine and he missed.
I got lost.
Oh, fuck. All right.
This enrages me. This is such a waste of our military equipment, our budgets, and a whole bunch of our military guys. Do they have to deplete us of everything?
All right, up next, before we get to the story, I do want to point out that Jamar Hamlin, he woke up, Jack, and he was given a piece of paper and he could write on it, and the first thing he asked was, who won the game? Because they should have finished the game. I'm sorry. Anybody's like, no, they shouldn't. Somebody got to die. Fuck you. They're paid to go out there and play. People get hurt all the time and taken off the field. The one time that a player actually died on the field, they still played the fucking game. They should have finished the game. But anyway, he asked who won the game, and the doctor apparently told him, you did. You won at the game of life.
No, I don't give a fuck about board games, Doc. I'm asking about the football game. Real
Right.
stuff.
You know what? That's the kind of player you want on your team. Motherfuckers suffered a near fatal heart attack, been in a chemically, medically induced coma for 2 days. He wakes up and the first thing he asks is who won. That's who I want on my team.
I maintain that whenever shit like this happens, they should do like what somebody suggested that Elon have his crew do on the ground when the ship lands. Have them all dressed like they're on Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
And be like, welcome back. Just to fuck with them. It'd be hilarious. I'd laugh at that.
Sure. Hell yeah.
Real quickly, though, thank you, Cult of Krill, for that feminist donation. Ex-Army Como guy here. One of the key components of the Abrams is the Singar's radio. It's a complicated system that requires understanding of encryption, squelch, and other advanced concepts. No way a Ukrainian soldier can use this equipment. See, that makes me even more worried. Because that sounds like some secret type stuff we don't want to be telling them.
You guys are jaded as fuck in chat. I'll call him that cringe. He was saying some sweet stuff to the. Come on, man. Y'all are cold. No, this, you know what worries me? Maybe they can't run it right now, but we'll teach them how to run it. And then 10 years from now, we're going to be fighting Ukraine and they're going to have all of our shit and know how to use it.
Yep. 10 years. Give them 5. They'll have Nazis, swastikas, and suns on there.
We keep having this problem. We keep getting in other people's business, giving them our resources, and then a couple of years later, having to fight the fuckers. We should stop. We just really should.
Yeah, we got to stop meddling in this nonsense. It's not our war.
Anyhow, update. A jaw-dropping 769 athletes have collapsed while competing over the past year. Average age of the players suffering cardiac arrest is just 23. Now, we're going to read the story. However, I do need to point out, as we talked about the other day, the most common way for an athlete to die when they are still competing is from a heart attack. And that would be the biggest age group is 35 to 69. The next biggest age group is 8 to 18. So just on average, those are going to be in the near 20s. So it is important whether or not that these are athletes in their prime or not. Pro athletes in their prime. And no, soccer doesn't count because you don't get the same kind of like damage that you do from other sports. Over the past year plus, athletes across the world have been dropping like flies as they compete in games. If they aren't passed out cold, they are seen gripping their chest in agony, unable to breathe due to sudden cardiac events that hit in the heat of competition. This wave of heart issues is unprecedented to say the least. Never before have we seen young, healthy, world-class athletes experiencing heart issues en masse like this. It has never happened ever. Furthermore, the timing of this sweeping phenomenon could not be more relevant, coinciding perfectly with the rollout of the experimental COVID-19 drug. But it gets worse. Thanks to a new explosive report by OAN that pegs the number of affected athletes into hundreds. In all, their investigation found a jaw-dropping 769 men and women who've collapsed with heart issues during competition over the past year, between March 2021 and March 2022. Most shocking, the average age is just 23. But again, I need to know more. I need to know how many in each age group, just for the record.
Yeah, this does concern me a little bit because I'm not an athlete and I am far from in good shape. So I'm wondering, like, did I get myocarditis from this?
Yeah, we got to be careful with the rest of this story.
Yeah, I threw it in chat, so if anyone wants to read it, because I'm quite certain there's parts you can't read.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain. But look, we do know there's something going on, and it's not just athletes. We know there's a spike in just sudden death. All of it coinciding with the vax. And we do know myocarditis is a side effect. I saw some people like, well, it's just it's not a common side effect. It doesn't have to be common for it to be a big deal.
Yeah.
Not every baby of thalidomide was a retard.
Yeah.
Just saying. But I mean, it's the severity of it for the people who do have the side effect.
And we can tell that the athletes are a good testing ground to see the percentages because so many of them were forced to vax.
Yep.
So if you're looking for a good sample size of people that got the shot and have these issues, looking at the athletes is a really good way to do it.
Sudden death in young men mostly. Yeah. I mean, there are some women, but it is mostly been men. And Jack, there was a story came out today that said that Hamlin, nobody knows exactly what the heart problem was with him. Well, that's odd because just a couple of days ago, several doctors were running around out there going, we know what it is. He had that, what is it? Cardio, whatever.
Comito or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which they later changed that tune because of the second heart attack he had.
Yeah, because he had another heart attack. And that specific condition is most commonly associated with being hit in the chest with a baseball or a hockey puck.
Yeah.
Not somebody running into you in a tackle in football.
Yeah, otherwise it would have happened a lot more by now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this would not be so unprecedented that it shocked the commentators that have been doing the job for ages.
You just don't. This is why I keep saying this. You just don't see this in the NFL. Go ahead. I'm sorry, bud.
Oh, no, you're good. I stepped on you there. Thank you, John. Monkey forgot to say soccer like it's Crenshaw is like Crenshaw's eye hole. What? It's filled with semen?
What did I say about soccer?
You forgot to say soccer's like Crenshaw's eye hole. It's hollow and meaningless, devoid of all usefulness.
Well, that's true. Well, that's not. No. It gives poor kids in poor countries something to do.
Yeah, it's a poor people game. They should get a rich people game like basketball.
A rich people game like croquet.
Oh, well, Mr. Tea and Crumpets.
That's right.
Oh, look at me. I'm going to play the grand piano.
Where was that? Monkey, I highly suggest you watch Redacted with Clayton Morris. Today we'll answer many of your concerns regarding the jab. This just came out today. How do you mean we'll answer my concerns about the jab? My concerns about the jab are things that we know are true, like the myocarditis and the fact that myocarditis has a 5-year survivability rate for 50% of the people who get it.
Yeah.
That is just a fact. So knowing that the jab causes this, I never wanted kids to get this shit. This never should have been forced on children. This probably shouldn't have been given to anybody under the age of 40.
Yeah.
And yeah, that actually lines up specifically with the myocarditis.
Weirdly.
16 to 39. Good job, guys. Yeah, so that's my concern. And now we have all these people out there. Look, a lot of people who end up with like myocarditis might not even know it, especially if, you know, oh, maybe I just got the COVID and I'm tired for a little while. Because one of the first symptoms is just fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so I'm just not feeling good. I'm going to go lay down. If you don't go get it checked, you'll never know. And it destroys heart muscle, which, by the way, kind of hard to get back.
A little bit.
So, yeah. I worry that pushing this stupid shit on people who were healthy and don't need it probably is going to end up killing a lot of people who would have been just fine if they had gotten COVID 2 or 3 times. Joe Rogan was spot on with what he said. Spot fucking on. If you're 25 and healthy, you probably don't need this shit. And then they were like, look, man, what about if your grandma's sick? What if you get her sick? Well, if you get sick, stay away from grandma for a little while. There you go. And they're like, oh, but you can pass it when you don't even know you have it. There is zero fucking proof of that. None. That is a goddamn lie. Sorry. I'm so tired of that fucking lie. You could be asymptomatic. There's no proof of that. There are some really, really questionable studies. Really questionable. And no actual proof. See what you did, Jack?
You're welcome.
See what you did?
Yeah. Let's see what I did there.
Russian says it shot down a UFO. Okay. Yeah, this might as well be on the fucking timeline too. Russia says it shot down a UFO.
I don't know what they did. After the Vostok experiment, I rule nothing out.
A mystery object. This is just perfect for the timeline. It really is.
Hey, you know what? What's worse? Us sending military tanks into the Ukraine or the Russians getting a hold of an alien spacecraft? Because at this point, coin toss.
A mystery object described by one local news outlet as a UFO has been shot down in the southern Russian region of Rostov. Vasily Golubev, the governor of Rostov Oblast, wrote on Telegram that a small-sized object in the shape of a ball had been discovered flying in the wind. And did they like shoot down some kid's balloon?
No, I think that's just the translation, but I rule nothing out, as I said.
At an altitude of around 1.5 miles on January 3rd, with the object spotted above the village of Sultan Sala in the region's, oh, motherfucker, I've been doing good with it so far. Myasinkovsky district. Golubev said the decision was taken to liquidate it.
I love his way of talking. It's so fun. We saw a small object in the shape of a ball in the wind, so we decided to liquidate it. It's the most 80s Russian thing possible.
I love the liquidates.
Yeah.
I urge everyone to remain calm to ensure security. All forces and means are involved. The sky is covered with anti-aircraft defenses, he added, without specifying what the object was. Elf, thank you so much for the super sticker there. Hang on, I cannot see it. Dude, I can. What is it? Oh, thank you for the super pair. I've never seen that one before.
I haven't either.
Is that a new one?
It might be. I don't know.
I need to bring that chat over to this screen so I can see it while I'm reading. Hang on, guys. My producer's working around in the background. All right.
Maybe they deployed Super Bear to take out the UFO.
Maybe. Perhaps. In reporting his comments, local news Pivyet Rostov carried a headline that said a UFO in the form of a ball was shot down in the sky. Telegram channels that night described how air defense systems in Rostov had been operating. The channel, son of a bitch. Caution News. I'm going to read I'm just going to go with the translation.
Fair enough.
Published a video showing a shining object flying and then exploding in the sky. Look, another one is gone, someone is heard saying in the clip, which was captioned, another video of the work in Rostov regional air defenses. All right, so, I mean, they're going to trigger an alien invasion because they're shooting down shit. They don't know what it is. That's not cool.
Well, they shot that passenger plane down and got away with that. Why not an alien invader, right?
Because the aliens are going to come pissed off.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure they're going to come pissed off anyway.
The aliens don't care if the Russians have nukes.
No, they've probably got better things to do. Plus, if you believe the some of the reports of like the what was it? The one in England in the 80s. They could shut down nuclear sites anyway and dismantle our bombs and make them useless. So, something to look forward to. Alien invasion is on my bingo card for this year too.
And this might as well be a thing as well. Prince Harry had a frostbitten penis at Prince William and Kate Middleton's wedding.
Yeah, I want to thank Massive for sending this one in.
Did you see that little prick blamed William and Kate for him wearing the Nazi outfit?
Yep.
This guy, the ball, I had some respect for him at one time. Now I have none. None. You are such a piece of shit go get your balls out of your wife's purse, reattach them, become a man again, and stop blaming all your problems on your family, you little bitch.
Yeah. It's the Rendlesham Forest. I kept wanting to say Rotterdam, and that was where the kids got raped. So don't want to mix those two up. The aliens aren't pedos that we know of.
Prince William may not have had cold feet at his wedding, but his brother was suffering from a cold penis.
Did he get it from putting it in that cold-hearted bitch?
He now. Thank you, Frosted. Liar, I never went near him. Thank you, sir. Spud Gun, thank you. You haven't read any of my chat messages. I'm sad. I'm barely reading chat messages. I'm reading.
You assume he looks at chat.
I try.
There's no try. There's only do and do not.
But thank you for the donation. Didn't I read one from you earlier? Just a regular message? I swear I did. How dare you? Maybe it was yesterday.
Where am I?
One of Prince Harry's startling revelations in his new memoir, Spare, includes the reveal his Todger was frostbitten following a March 2011 expedition to the North Pole. So did they have to cut pieces off?
I hope not.
Does he have a funky willy?
This might be his excuse for not having a big penis.
Wait, does he have a spotted dick? Had to be
Maybe.
done. While standing beside his older brother at Westminster Abbey on April 29, 2011, Harry writes that he was still recovering from the 2,000-mile Arctic charity walk. During the trip, which raised $2 million or $2.3 million US for the Walking with the Wounded, You guys couldn't find somewhere else to do that?
Like, this dude's not rich enough. He could have just written a check and not gone.
Right. Yeah, here's your $2 million. The Duke of Sussex was joined by 4 ex-servicemen who were badly wounded in the war. It seems a bad idea to take them to the Arctic. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, they probably handled it better than he did. At least no reports of their dicks getting frostbite.
Their flight was delayed because of cracked ice. Oh, look, his ass is in the water. Yeah, it's going to give you a frostbite on your dick, homie. Why are you in the Arctic water? You dumb son of a bitch.
Somebody yelled dentist and he went for cover.
Scarpy, thank you. Has anyone seen where my weather balloon went? The Russians shot it down. Sorry, homie.
It got stuck in that cloud of swamp gas.
And he was still suffering from the after effects. Sorry. As he writes how he regaled his nervous brother, their father, King Charles, and friends with tales of his trip at a pre-wedding celebration the night before the big day. Pa was very interested and sympathetic about the discomfort in my frost-nipped ears and cheeks, he writes in the book, adding that he didn't want to overshare about his penis, which he learned was also frostbitten after he arrived home. While the ears and cheeks were already healing, the Todger wasn't. It was becoming more of an issue by the day. I don't need to know any more about his dick. I really don't.
Do you think he peed himself a lot? Like if he couldn't feel his wiener?
Probably, yeah. Well, it depends on which part. I mean, like the internal muscles. It depends on how bad the frostbite was.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. It'd be embarrassing. Why would you tell anyone about this? This is something that, like, your wife should know, and that's about it. Like, we're not going to talk about, well, that time I had frostbite on my wiener. It's like getting poison ivy on your dick. Like, you tell 1 or 2 of your best friends that you know aren't going to say anything at most, but most of the time you keep that shit to yourself.
Oh, he also confirms that he's circumcised. Yay.
Gross. I don't care about this guy's ginger soulless wiener.
He's got a ginger wiener that's all fucked up and gnarly. And Megan touches that thing. Dirty bitch.
Yeah.
How badly were that? Look, that's a good gold digger right there. I just gotta say, when you're touching ginger deformed penis, you are dedicated.
Yeah, that's touching some retard peen. Massive. He's like, I sent pictures right as we talk about this dude's wiener.
I don't want to see pictures of wiener.
The pictures look like butt cracks.
All right. That brings us to a close for tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. Thank you for all the donations. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out. Hit the Rumble button on your way out. Jack, anything you want to show?
I'll drop a link to a cool video or two. But as always, thank you so much for the donations. You guys are awesome. Appreciate y'all coming out night after night to support us. And I hope you all have a lovely evening.
Be over on twitch.tv/rantingmonkey. Is Bubba here? I never know what day. Bubba, are we playing together tonight or are you working tonight? What day is this? This is Thursday
Friday.
Going into Friday. Bubba, oh Bubba, my hobo friend. Are you out there? If Bubba's out there and he's off work, then we will be playing some Phasmo. If he's working, then I'm going to be playing 7 Days to Die. So we'll see you over there. Come hang out and figure out what one I'm playing. Good luck to us both.
Hang on real quick. Thank you, Megan. Ha, you think I touch it?
Elf, thanks for coming by. Elf is new to the channel. Glad you enjoyed the show tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. We do this nonsense every night, pretty much.
Yeah. Sometimes it's worse than others. Tonight was a fairly tame show, really.
Yeah, we didn't judge any women or talk about the 19th.
Dude, did you see that fucking fat bitch on Twitch? Or sorry, on Twitter, who was like, don't say obese, it's a slur.
Yeah, I responded to you on that one, I think.
So she gets a well-deserved community note on there going, obese is a medical term. So the bitch retweets, she makes a whole new tweet, the same stupid thing, except for this time she puts an asterisk for the first E in obese, to prove that it's a slur. That doesn't change anything. It's not a slur. It's a medical term, you fat bitch. By the way, she's okay with the term fat, so don't get mad.
I don't understand that. Like, not every word you find offensive is a slur. It might be considered mean, but come on, shut up, Chubberlocks.
As a fat bastard, I'm obese. Look, I was obese at one time. My wife laughed her ass off. This is years and years ago, Jack, when I used to be a much bigger guy. Because the doctor comes in and he goes, young man, you're obese. And she thought that was the funniest shit ever. It was true, too, because I was almost 300 pounds at one point, Jack.
Yeah.
And you don't have to like that it's true, but you don't get to just, it's a slur because I don't like it. Shut up. She said, it makes the medical community treat us differently. Like you're obese?
Like you have a bunch of medical conditions associated with obesity, like diabetes, heart disease, arteries, heart failure, dozen other things, I'm sure, neuropathy.
You know what you don't see? You don't see some 60-year-old who weighs 800 pounds on the body positivity fat is okay train.
They're all dead.
It's always people in their mid-20s going into their 30s because I'm healthy. I haven't died yet. No, but it's coming because you're hitting that 30 mark. And that's when your body starts to go, my knees hurt.
Yeah.
You can be fat. I don't care if you're fat, but stop pushing that body positivity shit and stop trying to change words because you feel bad because you're a giant fat ass and the doctor keeps telling you need to lose weight and it'll help with all your medical problems. Because if you did it, it would help with at least some of them. Maybe you have something hiding behind the fatness. Maybe you do.
It's a stick of butter.
Probably a Klondike bar. But at the very least, that is still a problem. You don't be going in there like, no, it's not just that I'm fat. All right, maybe it's not just that you're fat. But fat is a problem.
A little bit.
I'm so tired of this fucking nonsense. Believe the science, but not about fatties.
Oh, no, that's hate science.
Not about fatties. And again, I'm still overweight, Jack. I am. I'm still, depending on the day, anywhere from 205 to 215, which is still overweight for my size.
Yeah, I'm a big fat ass. But I accept that I'm fat.
I would never tell anybody else, yeah, come live like me. You should be in better shape than I am.
Yeah. Real quick, thank you, Frosted Glass. There was a 60-year-old, 800-pound guy, but the Russians just shot him down.
They got his ass. They found him.
His name was Uncle Fredo Octavius.
For the people new to the channel, never leave the channel till I sing at the end of the show.
Yeah, just because we said we're leaving doesn't mean shit around here.
Nah, because occasionally we remember shit at the end.
Because we have very bad attention deficit.
You know what? Speaking of that, I want to watch this because it's funny. It's a bad lip reading. It's Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and one of the 20 Republicans that's causing the problems.
Yeah.
And I don't know why this made me laugh so hard, but it just did.
You dreamt of Dracula, you said? While we're on this sort of stuff, You heard of the Pied Piper? Well, my dream Pied Piper had toilet paper, one sheet of the cheap kind.
Yes.
And he took that and he ripped out a creme brulee and a little tiny pepper.
Yes.
I don't know why this makes me laugh.
Speaking of Dracula, have you seen the trailer for Renfield?
I have not. I'll have to check it out.
Oh my god, it looks fun.
Pulled out a creme brulee. Fuck. Oh.
Before he ate a tree. You didn't have that dream.
Yes, I did.
Okay, nope. Okay, you did not. Don't tell me you did. It's not true. You didn't never get to dream of the Pied Piper eating a tree. I mean, you're telling me you dreamed that too. Then it wasn't as cool as my dream.
And I think we'll end on that tonight. I'm going to throw the link to the guy who does that into chat. It's over on the Twitter. I haven't dove deep into his Twitter to see how many of those he does, what kind of things he covers. But good luck. I love bad lip readings. I really, really do. And that one, yeah, the toilet paper, just the cheap one ply kind. He pulled out a creme brulee. Ah, fuck me. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for hanging out with us. Jack, a pleasure as always, my friend.
Always glad to be here.
Everyone, have a wonderful night. Come join me over on twitch.tv/rantingmonkey, and we will see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
I was going to sing a song, but then the creme brulee broke my brain. Fuck Dan Crenshaw.